My big brother and friend, the legendary Francis Doku. Boss, did there?
Charlie, don't worry. How?
We're good.
Yesterday you were trending on Twitter. The whole of
I won the lottery.
In what currency?
Oh, cities. I won the lottery. You didn't check with the Department of National Lotteries?
No,
I broke the jackpot.
No, I didn't. I didn't check.
Yeah, so if you're out there and I owe you, call me.
Come for your money. Just pay us.
Yeah. That's why I was trending. Yeah, that's why I was trending. Yeah, it's not been.
You're trending.
Yeah.
Now we're trending.
Double worker. Yes, before we get the show on the road, let me say, a great man full of love. On this special day in your life, we pray for long life with strength. We ask God's blessings for you and your home. Happy birthday, Kofi Jan. That's from your loved ones, Godwin and Pearl Day, Charles and Adjoa Fomevo. Yes, that is a happy birthday to Mr. Kofi Atta Yeboah Jan. And those, that's just a lovely message there. So before we start talking kids and kids entertainment in our space, let us talk about ATWAG. ATWAG. I trust you've heard about it before. If you haven't, the legendary GH Media Guru is here to tell us all about it. Francis, welcome to Rhythm. Welcome to Showbiz A to Z. Today I'm sitting in for our own Ashoko. And yes, let's start. ATWAG. Wow.
Is this your new job?
Why? Did somebody tell you I didn't have a job? But this is not the first time I'm sitting in for Nashoko.
Oh, but there's rumor in town that you don't have a job anymore since 2 days ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. You see, the thing about life is that you don't always have to believe everything you hear. Yeah, you can't believe everything.
Especially in the era of social media.
You know. So don't always believe what you hear. Yes, I'm very, very, very happily, gainfully employed.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
all right,
yes.
With the Image Bureau.
Yes, Image Bureau. Image Bureau is a very nice company. You know, it's Image Bureau and other initiatives. There are a lot of other things that we do.
Then it's not all doom and gloom.
No.
We thank God.
Oh yes.
So I'm here to.
We're in the golden age of business.
We've been since 2000.
Exactly. Yes. So let's talk about ATWAG
or ATWAG.
ATWAG or ATWAG. Which one is it?
I think we call it ATWAG, but it's you can say ATWAG or
exactly
or what you want to say.
What is it? Art Writers Association of Ghana.
Yes, the Art and Tourism Writers Association.
Oh, okay. The T is for tourism. Okay.
Yeah.
Art and Tourism Writers Association of Ghana.
Yes.
What inspired the organization?
Well, the inspiration came from the fact that writing, as you know, and generally what we do as either journalists, broadcasters, or anything we do, it's a profession. So there are different professional bodies. There's the Doctors Association, there's the Pharmacists Association, there's the bigger Journalists Association of Ghana. But we felt that there should be a way by which people who write mainly about tourism, about arts, about culture, about chieftaincy, and those softer stuff, we could come together to form an association and to see how we can professionally help ourselves and then also help to grow the area that we focus on. So primarily, it's a professional body of writers in the creative arts, tourism, culture, and the chieftaincy value chain across that value chain. Primarily, that's what it is.
Interesting. Yes. And made up of who and who? I mean, the leadership, the construct, what's the organogram?
Okay, so we've been trying for a very long time to form an association. I mean, there have been times where there have been different meetings. There have been people sat and decided that let's go this way. There have been conversations for over 10 years. I'm sure if
10 years.
Yeah, if you're old enough to know. I'm sure you know there used to be what we call ACRAG.
Yes.
You know, ACRAG was the Arts Writers
They even had an
Association of
award
Ghana.
scheme.
Yes, and then ACRAG evolved into ECRAG, which was Entertainment and
ACRAG,
Arts.
they are the ones that used to give the stool as an award.
No, I mean ACRAG recognized, you know, people who
Yeah.
you know, excelled in the arts and tourism sector,
Yeah.
and rewarded them at the time. But for whatever it was, that association hasn't been active for a while. But we felt that there was a need to look at how to maybe bring ourselves together again. So, like I said, there have been conversations, there have been trials, but eventually last year we managed to come together to now decide that this is the association that we want to form. It was registered. There have been a constitution that everybody had agreed to, and then we went on to conduct elections late last year, and then afterwards the executive was inaugurated, you know, early this year. And so the structure of ATWAG is one. There's hello, welcome. There's the general meeting or the general membership, which meets maybe at least twice in a year. And then there's the executive committee as well, which is supposed to ensure that, you know, things about the association is run well, give policy direction, implement decisions by the general meeting, you know, and all other things. And then we also have what we call, you know, patrons to advise us, you know, on how we would be able to move the association forward and all that. So there's two structures. And if I may say, there are also different levels of membership, you know, within ATWAG. For example, there's what we call the individual members, who are those that I mentioned, you know, earlier, as people who are there right or, you know, do stuff in terms of media, so long as tourism, creative arts, chieftaincy, and all culture is concerned. So individual members, you know, form part of that. We also have what we call organizational members. So media organizations that are in this, you know, area, and maybe tourism organizations, you know, who wish to be a part of ATWAG, we allow for that to happen. So we have individual membership, organizational membership. We also have associate membership. You may not necessarily be in the area that we say you are, maybe tourism or all that, but you feel that, oh, this is something that I want to be a part of. We also give the room for people to be associate members, you know, of our group. So it's open to people who want to be. So professionals, students, you know, in this area, teachers, you know, people in mass communication, not necessarily tourism and all that, can also become members of ATWAG as associate members. And then we have what we call also the
honorary.
Okay. The guy in me is coming out.
No.
So I'm going to say honorary.
Honorary.
So we have honorary membership that we confer on outstanding individuals who, you know, we believe have helped in either the tourism area, the chieftaincy area, the arts, you know, area and all that. So these are the four categories of membership that we have in ATWAG: individual, organization, associate, and then honorary, you know, membership. We're still trying to properly develop our association to become something important. What we have resolved to do as an association, you know, trying to grow, is to make sure that we build our members. I mean, George, you would agree that the people who write about tourism, who write about art, who write about, you know, creative arts especially, are young people who are trying to make something for themselves in that area. The internet has been very good for us, young people who have been writing, and we create our own platforms, and we try in our own way to promote, you know, the area that we are. Write about them, give feedback in terms of criticisms and all that. Many of us have not gone through the traditional form of how to do journalism in the newsroom proper, but we are willing and we are able to help. So for us, it's more kind of helping our people to upgrade themselves, to understand that what we are doing is not just to write, you know, about stuff.
Because that's a major, it's been a major problem. Sometimes you look at the reportage from some, especially the bloggers, you know, those that call themselves, or bloggers don't fall under your umbrella.
No, we have bloggers as well.
Because especially some of the bloggers, and I've heard a lot of people complain that, Charlie, when you look at some of these people that call themselves bloggers, sometimes even the construct, even the language, you know, it's art and tourism. I must love what I read. I'm like when I'm reading your column or I'm reading Bentifi's Tattle or something like that. Those are exceptional pieces. When I'm reading something from another small babe, I like, it carries you along.
Yeah.
Even the language is florid, it's beautiful, it's sweet, so it urges you on. But some of the others, I don't know how you intend to sanitize that part, and is there a plan to train them or to weed them out of the system? And a lot of them are also lazy. They just copy and paste. Sometimes they don't even attribute.
Thank you so much, George. I think that's hitting the nail right on the head. I mean, for us as executive, especially the president of our association, Mr. William Asiedu.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know William is, if you like, a veteran in this area, and he's the president. And so, just to mention the executive before I go on to answer your point, William, when we had an election last year, William was elected as the president for 4 years.
Great.
Then, so he will serve co-terminus, with President Akufo-Addo.
Definitely.
William was elected president, and thankfully I was elected vice president.
Congratulations.
Our secretary is Mike Yamwa.
Mm.
I'm sure you know Mike.
Oh yeah,
yes,
definitely.
Mike Yamwa is the secretary. We also have as our PRO.
Who is treasurer? That's my interest.
Treasurer is Frankie
Yeshka.
Fife. Frankie Fife is our treasurer.
Okay. You wanted somebody who's close to God.
No, I mean, Frankie Fife came into this from a banking background. We felt that he has the ability to be able to manage.
You were talking about PRO.
PRO is Kwame Dazi.
Oh, okay.
And Kwame Dazi City.
The long one.
The guy who was in Koforidua
from
all his
Koforidua
life until last year he came to.
And he saw the light in Accra.
And came to Accra. And came to City FM.
He came to the city and joined City FM.
Then we also have as our research officer David Mauli. David works at pulse.com. One of the very key people who understand new media, and how to use it. And then we also have as our organizer, Attractive, Attractive.
Mustafa.
Yeah. He's currently in London to cover the Ghana Music Awards UK.
Visa.
And then I think that we also realized that there was a need to help to organize people, especially the female, in the sector.
Yeah.
And so we also decided that we would add women's commissioner to the executive to look after affairs that relate to women, especially organized women and all that.
Because I was just about to ask why there was no woman in your top executive.
Absolutely. We have Makiba as our women's commissioner. So she's responsible for organizing the women and putting staff around women together and all that. And then also another woman who's part of our executive is Sandra Mkovia, who is our legal advisor.
Oh, okay.
So she advises on issues that have to do with the law, and all that, because her background.
Oh yes, definitely.
She has a very good background in entertainment, in broadcasting, and all that, and also a background in the law. So we felt that it was, a kind of a match that we would want to have. So this forms the executive. I haven't forgotten about anybody on the executive, But George, the fact has to be that we feel that at this stage of the organization, what we need is to develop our members in terms of what you mentioned, in terms of understanding what we're doing, because we just don't. If you want to write about a subject, you need to understand it a bit more. You just don't write about it without knowing what it is. For example, what is the policy on tourism, on chieftains, and stuff like that. What do we say when we talk about tourism? Really, we need to understand if we're going to talk about that. Why would we combine tourism and creative arts, under the same ministry? Why wouldn't it be divided or one goes for? We need to understand those things so that when we are writing or talking about it, we can do that well so that the audience will also understand. So developing our membership has been very important to the leadership of the organization. For example, we have had conversations with some of the people who we believe can help us be able to train our people very well. We've spoken to Mr. Nanabenyin Datsin, who, as you know, was for a long time the editor of Graphic Showbiz.
Yes, sir.
And also currently the head of journalism at the AUCC.
Yeah.
And we've also spoken to the Director General of the Ghana Tourism Authority, so that we can have, that kind of collaboration, that kind of training, so that we will properly understand that what we're doing is not just doing anything, but we're doing something professionally to help ourselves, one, to help our organizations, two, and generally to help the nation. So we have taken that on as a very important part of building our members, developing them, letting them understand that you just cannot pick something and post without open it up to understand why somebody did what they did, so that it become a bit more professional and better than we have done in the past. So we are on that. It's very important to us. We're also trying to make sure that this association does not become only an Accra-based association. We want to find a way to expand our membership and our structure so that it would cover even if it's not the entire nation immediately, eventually it will be. But based on that, we have had a plan that we would go into all the regions to have conversations with those of our people who are in this area, who are in those regions, who are maybe not even yet members of the association, recruit them, and then also continue to build our network so that eventually we would become a national association. We're on that track.
That's important.
As I mentioned, the executive was only inaugurated this year, but we've tried to build those blocks on which we can build our associations.
Finally, before we go, I mean, I don't know what kind of change do you think ETWA can bring about as far as the creative arts fraternity is concerned? Because I've had a lot of people complain about the state of our tourism facilities. I think yourself, I've seen a post from you on Facebook. I saw somebody complain bitterly about the state of the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum and all that. We have a whole day to celebrate Kwame Nkrumah, but we don't have resources and personnel to keep his mausoleum in top shape so that it can attract a lot more tourists and all those things. What change do you think you can cause? We can wrap it up on that one.
Yeah, I think it's very important. I mean, if we have an association of this nature with very formidable people in the creative arts, broadcast and writing and tourism sector, and we cannot affect any change, then we have to pack and go home. Really, because it's important. But that's why I'm saying that we need to properly understand as an association what it is that, for example, the strategy of the tourism ministry is to develop tourism in this country. What is it that is the tourism ministry's focus on developing creative art in this country? So, for example, also, how do we engage the agencies under the ministry to properly understand what they're supposed to do? What is the difference between the Ghana Tourism Development Company's role and that of the Tourism Authority? What is the Creative Arts Council supposed to do? Why is it in a state as this now? We believe that we need, as an association, to be able to have a voice and conversation in these things. It's one of the reasons why, since we were inaugurated, we've been having meetings with people in that area who understand this, and we've had a meeting with the GTA director, Kwesi Ajuma. We've had a meeting with the Deputy Minister for Tourism, Dr. Ziblim Idi. We've had meetings with the GGJA President, Mr. Dr. Femoni, and a host of others, just so we would properly place ourselves in an area where, when we give any speech or any thought, any communique, any advice, it will be taken with that. But we first have to understand what things are and how things are done. We've been trying as an executive and as an association to try not to meddle in everything that happens. I mean, a musician posts something on his Snapchat and it becomes an issue, and we're supposed to write a statement. And we think that we need to have conversation in the bigger issues.
Look at the bigger picture.
That would develop this country, than just meddling in the little things that will bring nothing to change or not happen, not affect change much. In the industry that we're in. So we're here to help. To make things better than they have been or they are currently. But for us to be able to do that, we need to understand, we need to educate ourselves, and we need to bring our members up to speed in understanding all the things, so that when we talk about them, we talk from the point of knowledge and the point of trying to help constructively. Trying to destroy. So that's what we're aiming for.
Francis Doku, stay. I would like to have your thoughts on our next subject matter, which is very important. Kids. We're talking kids. And as you can see one of Ghana's finest entertainment experts seated right next to you at the moment. And she is doing very, very, very great. And when we come back, I'm going to introduce this adorable young lady. And of course, the legendary Uncle Ken is also going to join us, and then we'll get the show on the road. Stay on. This is Joy 99.7 FM, and this is Showbiz A to Z.
The third edition of the Joy Prime Made in Ghana Fair comes off from Thursday 1st November to Sunday 4th November 2018 at the Junction Mall, Nungwa Barrier from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. each day. For further inquiries and information, contact 0540-123-805 or 0502-148-535 or 0274-020-699. Joy Prime Made in Ghana Fair 2018.
Too much, I'm way too hot.
Many of us stand the chance of becoming victims of globalization, not the shakers and the movers.
That a great man was asked, how do you bring up children? And he said, the first is by example, the second by example, and the third by example.
What are the top 10 things?
Albert, I should confess to you, it's a very difficult subject you're handling.
If you ever found Kelly anywhere, systemless 2, the 3 legs of those 2 are faith, truthfulness, and enjoyment. Please don't pull any of these legs out. If you do, you will fall.
10 years of reviewing the past, situating the present, and predicting the future. Springboard, your virtual university, matriculates at 7 p.m. and graduates at 8 p.m. every Sunday on Joy 99.7 FM.
Springboard is a very significant intervention in our national life. The radio program, the virtual university, and the roadshow have become important factors in the development of our human capital.
Springboard is brought to you by Legacy and Legacy and Joy FM and proudly sponsored by EcoBank, MTN, and Central University with support from the graphic business.
Hi, this is Sharon Lecter, co-author of Rich Dad Poor Dad and the Rich Dad series. Remember to keep listening to Springboard, your virtual university with Albert Okran. It's going to help you create financial freedom for yourself and your families.
Springboard, your personal value will shoot up.
Here's where we turn around. Here's where we turn around.
It's about to go down. The auditions are over and the 30 are marching into the classroom this Sunday, live on Adum TV at 5 p.m. at the Providence Event Center, La Accra. Who gets promoted to the next level? Come cheer and support your young music talents at the Providence Event Center, La Accra, as they thrill us to their own rendition of original Ghanaian high life music. Remember, it's this and every Sunday at the Providence Event Center outside Trade Fair, La Accra at 5 p.m. And Jens Struma, Yeri Shurain, supporters and audience should be seated by 4 p.m. at Doom TV.
Check with your time. It's 25 after 3 on Saturday, 7th of October. You're locked on live to Joy 99.7 FM. This is Showbiz A to Z. My name is George Kwei, sitting in for Na Ashoko. Are you ready to fly? I mean, are you really ready to touch the sky? Are you? Really? If you are, then definitely your leading partner, Cowbell, is about to make that possible. Guess what? Cowbell will be in the sky with a glowing hot air balloon in a community next to you. The amazing part is that you could be the one flying in that balloon. Some of us don't try certain things. It's absolutely free. That's the most impressive part of it all. That's Cowbell in the sky. If you want to know more about flying in this balloon, stay tuned to your favorite radio station, Joy 99.7 FM. Also, get on the Cowbell Facebook, Instagram, Twitter pages, Cowbell Ghana, and you could be flying high. Cowbell a mil. Let me quickly tell you about the Joy Prime Made in Ghana Fair, because the third edition is about to go down. That's the third edition of the Joy Prime Made in Ghana Fair, coming off Thursday 1st November to Sunday 4th November 2018 at the Junction Mall in Accra. Nungwa Barrier. It starts at 8 a.m. and it runs through till 8 p.m. each day. Interested, just call 0540-123-805 or 050-214-8535 or 0274-020-699. Should I take the numbers again? All right. 054 0123 805 or 050 214 8535. The last one 0274 020 699. Joy Prime Made in Ghana Fair. That's one fair you sure don't want to miss. So up, I'm gonna be chatting with an adorable young lady. Her name is Erica Tando. But of course, everybody in GH and beyond knows her as DJ Switch. Hello, Erica.
Hello.
Or would you prefer me calling you DJ Switch?
Erica is okay.
You sure?
Yeah.
Why, you don't want to be called by your stage name?
You can call me by my stage name, but Erica is the name God gave me. But DJ Switch is the name we men created because Erica is the name God placed into my parents' mind to give to me. So, yeah.
I'm in love with this girl already. Erica. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. So how did you come by the name DJ Switch?
I came by the name DJ Switch when I was in my hometown when I started DJing.
Which hometown is that? Where'd you come from?
Swam and Dadiasu in the western region of Ghana.
Okay.
When I was there and my mom wanted a DJ name for me, so she started calling me by all sort of names, like something like DJ Spiritual. How do you say it? She has been calling me all sort of names. The last time she called me DJ Spiritual, I was like, no, mommy, how can you call me DJ Spiritual? I'm physical and you're calling me spiritual.
So you'd have preferred DJ Physical?
We went to one of my daddy's friends to visit him. Then he was like, you see, he has been switching, like he will switch from this and switch to that. Why? Then when I'm happy, then she will switch me to excited. Why? Then when we got out from there, my mom was like, okay, switch. DJ Switch.
Okay.
So DJ Switch was given to me by the people in my hometown and my mommy too.
Nice, very, very nice. DJing, how did you get into it? It's a pretty, it's well, I must say, all my career, all my life, you're the youngest DJ I've ever met. I mean, I haven't seen a DJ your age anywhere. How did you get into DJing? You have a DJ at home? Your mom is a DJ? Your dad is a DJ?
My mom is not a DJ. My dad is not a DJ. None of my family members is a DJ.
So how did you get into DJing?
DJing is something that I wanted to try my hands on when we were going for the competition, the Talenta Kids.
Okay.
I was going as a poem, but...
As a poet, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
My mommy wanted mine to be extraordinary. So I wanted to try my hands on DJing it. I used 5 days to learn how to DJ.
Wow. Francis Doku has been trying all his life. He still know the seat up. 5 days.
And I'm more than 40.
I swear. 5 days. How old are you?
Please, I'm 10.
10? And you learned how to DJ in 5 years? 5 days. And wait. You were 8 at the time?
Yeah.
5 days?
Yeah.
Come on. I don't want to believe that. 5 days?
Yeah.
Wow. Who taught you?
So many people taught me how to DJ.
Wow. I mean, growing up, what kind of exposure did you have at home? What were your parents exposing you to in the entertainment space? Music, movies, reading? What did you have as a hobby until DJing came along?
Like, I like music. I like reading. And I also like comedies.
Okay.
So, I was like, I also like music. Music goes, you can sing. So, music goes with singing. Music goes with dancing. So what else does music goes with? That was what I was thinking. Okay, music goes with DJ. Let me try my hands on DJ. So like DJing is like I like music. I'm someone that likes music.
Okay.
So DJing, I just wanted to try my hands on DJing.
Aside DJing, what else do you like doing? I mean, as a hobby, yes, of course, school and all that come in. But what else do you like to do?
Dancing.
You dance?
Yeah, choreography and culture.
Okay.
I also like playing the brass band.
Which instrument do you like playing the most, or are you very comfortable with?
I'm learning almost all the instruments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also I also know how to create comedies. And also it'll get to a time. If you go to my YouTube channel, you see this kind of videos, like let's say a comedy, then it will have a title. Then also you see a prank on my mother or something.
I can see you sure have a good sense of humor. All right. So tell us, recently you were all over the news that you had been to the States, you had been to New York, you had met President Macron.
Macron.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Don't mind me. Just kidding. How was that experience? What did you go to do in the States?
Firstly, I went for Goalkeepers 2018 that's aimed at accelerating the progress of sustainable development global goals. And it was...
Can you say what she said?
Stop it. My children are listening. Don't do that.
And it was organized by the second richest man in the world, Bill Gates.
Oh, I thought you were going to mention Francis Luke.
And like I went there for the Goalkeepers 2018, and also, like when you go there, you like perform and also look around.
So you performed?
Yeah, I performed.
And how did they receive it?
I was the official DJ for the program.
Okay.
So like
that's cool.
when I entered the auditorium, I saw no one in the auditorium.
It was empty.
Just seats. I don't know whether there were goats there or not. So like the auditorium was empty, and they said, "Start." Who am I going to play for? But I wanted to represent my country, so I saw like, who am I going to represent? Who's going to see that I represented my country? So I said, let's go on. Then I started Waka Waka. Then I was playing. Then I changed the song. All of a sudden I saw people coming inside. One will pass in front of me, pass at the back of me, pass in front of me, at the back of me, squat, stand up, take the phone out, put it back. Just standing in front of me at the back of me, doing that thing, chatting. I was like, no. How will I get them to sit down? And also, how will I also get them to... How will I involve them to what I'm doing?
In what you're doing?
Then, I played this song by Jay-Z featuring Alicia Keys. That's State of Empire.
Yeah.
Then when I played it and it got to the chorus, when they shouted New York, and I shouted New York, what's up? Then woo! So everybody went and sat down like, please can I see your hands in the air like that, like who are clapping it? I said yes. That's what I used to get.
So they felt your presence right there and then. And how did it feel like? I mean, you were controlling New York at the moment.
I felt happy because I brought out my best because that was a very big platform, and I did not know I was going to play at the end. So when they said that you are going to play at the end, I was like, no, I did not prepare for that.
To play the end.
Yes. So which one am I going to play? My mom said, take the phone, go to the email, go to this name, now read. I was like, Aretha Franklin. Aretha Franklin. Respect. I was saying, my man, do I have this song? So do you have that song, Erica? Yes, mommy, I have it. Then I gave the phone back to her. I was typing. My mom was like, are you arranging it? Yes, mommy, I'm arranging it. Meanwhile, I was downloading. So I told my mommy, please, I need a headset.
Yeah.
And she gave it to me. When I placed it inside the laptop, then, I played, for 5 times. I was listening to the song. Do you know one thing I was checking? I was checking whether we have those GhanaSongs.org.
In there, to make sure that it doesn't expose you.
So I was listening to the song.
Yeah.
So when I saw that that there's none in it, and then I didn't even cue it. I just left the song like that. When they said, I thought they don't know the song. Like, they don't, like, even if I don't say put your hands up, they won't do it. They won't even cheer up.
Yeah.
So when they said, there's the end of Goalkeepers 2018 and enjoy with the official DJ Switch, then I just started the song. I did not even say, please can I see your hands?
Yeah.
And I played my jingle and started. Woo!
Everybody was dancing.
Like,
the auditorium was alive.
yes, I was like, what is happening? Or like, are they seeing something that they have come happy, or it is the song I'm playing? Then I was like, please can I see your hands? Woo, 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 woo. I was like, no. And then I saw some group down there, like they've gathered and
they were just dancing.
Like, no. Like, I felt very great when, even if you've not told someone to do something, then like they've just
let us speak about your interaction with President Macron.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say Macron. Okay. President Macron. What did he tell you?
President Macron, I was done with my first part that when I opened the show. I was going to rest, and when I went, like, I was going to rest, then I saw that someone stopped me, and he was like, so you're a DJ? And I said, yes, please. How old are you? I'm 10 years. What is your name? I'm Erica. So I was like, do you want to go on stage with me? I said, please, only on one condition. He said, which condition? Can you tell me? I said, without you asking me a question on stage.
Yeah. Why don't you want a question on stage?
As a Ghanaian, I want to keep my accent. I don't want to be contaminated with other accents. So I don't like, how my teacher said, if you meet the whites, then your accent will change, like how my mom
you want to sound like them.
Yeah,
so
like,
you didn't want any surprises on stage.
How are you?
Yeah.
But in Ghana, when you come, how are you? Like, I didn't want to change my accent, so I said only on one condition. When we went on stage, he was like, so you're 10 years, you're a DJ, right? Then I said, no, I didn't ask him to ask me a question. So is it a question or a statement?
A statement.
No, he said, no, he promised he won't ask me a question. Is it a question or a statement? And then I said, yes, please. Then the whole place started me to laugh a lot. So, like, that was the time I saw that it was a question and at the same time a statement. Because he answered it himself. So
there was nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, being on stage with the French president, like, okay.
The French president.
Yeah.
And DJ Switch. Do you have friends?
Yeah, I have friends.
And what do your friends say to you?
As normal kids, when you come back to Ghana, even I remember when I went back to school, like when it was snack time, we're talking, and one of my friends came. When he came, hey Erica, sorry, the white man, is the king soft or hard? I was like, what kind of question are you asking me? You know that they are white. They use good pomade and all that. So how can the skin be hard? Like, then I brought like gifts from New York City.
From where?
New York City.
Hey, I thought you said you wanted to sound Ghanaian. That doesn't sound Ghanaian at all.
You know.
You mean from New York City? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ain't it?
Okay, if I'm supposed to sound like a Ghanaian, New York City.
Thank you very much. Let's continue.
When I came back, I brought gifts for Ghanaians, and my gifts, I'm coming to deliver them just right now.
Oh, really? What are those gifts? Tell us.
The gifts, okay, the gifts, I'll say, the first one is cleanliness. You know, that place is very clean. And, like, if you want to make Ghana like that place, we need to make that place clean, like in Ghana.
We need to make Ghana. You think we need to
make Ghana
cleaner?
Like, when you know in Ghana it's full of pure water. So I want to tell our Ghanaians that if you drink water, like pure water, you know we have some part that they meant that if you buy it you can put your 2 hands or your 1 hand. That space there.
Yeah.
You need to, when you are done, you clear the water in it. Then you tear that place, but not off the rubber. Just the last part will be on the rubber. Then you tear the other parts. When you tear it, then you fold the rubber itself and tie with the one you.
That part that you tore off.
When you finish, you don't need to throw it away. Put it in your pocket.
Until you find a bin.
Yeah.
That's sweet. That's a very good gift.
When we came, my mom was like, John, you drew bush into my mental way, and was like, Mommy, oh, Twegu. I said, like, my mom was like, why are you asking me this kind of question? But weren't you here sitting in that same car at that same position? You heard that news that the president wants to keep Ghana clean, like wants to make Ghana clean. So if the president wants to make Ghana clean, we are the ones supposed to help him, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Without our help, he can't, like, yeah. So I was like, Mommy, I'm giving you like 3 options where you keep those things you want to throw away. It is either you keep it in the car, in your bag, or you hold it.
Exactly.
Mama was like, okay, I'll keep it in the car.
That's right. So your gift to Ghanaians is cleanliness. We should all aspire towards making Ghana cleaner.
Yeah, and the second gift, that's the last gift for all Ghanaians, is like, the people are very, very lovely. So, like, I know we Ghanaians, we are also lovely, but we want ours to be more than theirs. Yeah.
We should love each other.
Yeah.
I like that. That is very deep. That is very, very, very deep. Yes, the voice you're hearing is that of the lady we know from Talented Kids, DJ Switch, who's doing great things and has just returned from the United States of America, where she had that rare privilege of interacting with French President Macron. And I think it's a great experience. This time around, I didn't say Macrona. Yeah, I didn't say Macrona. Also in the studios with us, we've got Franz Duku and we've got my own uncle, Uncle Ken. Before we bring in another adorable young lady whose father is also doing great things in our entertainment space. Uncle Ken, you've heard DJ Switch.
Yeah.
Impressed?
Very. Very. I've been just listening to her rattle.
It's impressive, huh?
Very impressive. And I don't know what to say, but that's the way you encourage kids to develop in their own way without restricting them, or let me say without pigeonholing them in a certain direction. You know, so that even though she's still in school, she has other interests that she's developing. And that's the way to go. You know, I mean, when we were kids, we weren't given that chance. Everything was a straight jacket kind of thing.
Straight jacket.
You know, you needed to either be a doctor.
It's very important. Very important. You have to. Why not be a doctor?
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And children who had other interests were not actually given the chance to explore those interests, like football, for instance. You know, I mean, in my time, how dare you be a footballer?
True.
You know, even the people in music in them days were not taken kindly to. You know, and to see a young lady like Erica doing what she loves and still maintaining the point that she's still in school, she has other, you know, targets she wants to aspire to. Brilliant. I mean, that's the only way you can get people to, you know, excel.
Exactly.
In their lives. And I'm so proud of her. You know, when I watched the on social media when she met the biggies in New York, you know, I said, wow. Yeah. This, and it's going to be with her forever.
There are people sitting in parliament that may never have that rare privilege.
Have that privilege.
And they've been sitting in parliament for years.
And she, what I love about her exploits is the fact that her mom, she always refers to her mom.
Yeah.
You know, and it shows that her mom is giving her all the encouragement that is needed for the little girl to
Very important. Very important.
Very important.
Yeah. You've heard DJ Switch?
Yes, I have. I have heard DJ Switch, and coming as I do from Media General, which the Lord doesn't want me to say, but I will. You know, I think that we should encourage the kind of support that our media channels give to people.
Yeah.
I'm sure that you know that. I mean, almost all television stations have, in a way, one way or the other, given help, you know, on the platform to people to show what they have.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, there used to be Stars of the Future, you know, which aired on television, different channels, which was produced by Charterhouse, if you recall.
I was the producer, specifically. So it's not
even before then, there was the comedy part of Stars of the Future, which brought out people like
David Oscar, Foster Romanos, and a few others,
and Kaninja, you know, and all that.
Hey, where's Kaninja?
You know, so, and then we also had Mentor, we had the football reality show Metro TV, which gave the likes of Gideon Bar, you know, and co-exposure and all that. And I think that's one of the things also that talented kids, you know, have done, and we need to encourage, you know, such initiatives. It's really difficult these days because of the lack of sponsorship for such programs. But I think that regardless of that, we need to. So I am happy that DJ Switch is a product of a television show that has, you know, exposed the talent that she had. I mean, if there was no such a program, we probably she may have found a way to be, but it may not be on this
platform.
route.
You've delved into our main discussion topic, but we're going to come back to it because that is really where our focus is today. Let me bring in another adorable young lady, Dulcie. Dulcie, right? I always kind of get this name. Dulcie or Dulcie? Dulcie.
Yeah.
Dulcie Dede Tete, a.k.a.
Didi.
A.k.a. what? Say it again. Didi.
Yeah.
And yes, Dulcie's father is our own brother Stip. That's what's the name of the TV station? Yes. His TV station. That's
TV7.
TV7. Thank you very much, Dulcie. Yeah. Do you think we have enough content on TV for kids your age?
Yes, please.
Really?
Yeah.
What are they these days? Because I remember growing up, there's a lot. I couldn't stop mentioning them. From Chichi Kule by Uncle George Lane to Tina Moses. Was it Children's Own or Toddler's Time? Children's Own. There was By the Far Side. There was Toddler's Time. So many of them, you know, in those days. There was a lot in our time, you know. Can you list yours? The kind of programs you watch on TV these days?
Well, we watch... Well, now children are watching more of the cartoons and movies. For example, we have Nickelodeon. They show basically cartoons for children.
Okay, I get you. So there's a lot more of the foreign content. So you have a lot of cartoons and stuff like that.
Yeah. But the local ones, I've not heard of any local ones over here. So we're more of the foreign cartoons.
What do you like to do aside study school? What are your hobbies?
Well, I'm now singing. I'm trying to
Oh,
sing a
really?
little bit. I'm not professional, but I'm still trying.
You wanna sing something first?
Not today, maybe later.
Yeah, sure.
And now I'm also trying to edit like my dad. So
Okay.
he's now going to teach me how to edit. So it might become my hobby in the future.
Okay, very interesting. And what about your friends? What do they like to do?
Well, my friends, their hobbies are just listening to music and like watching stuff on TV. So they've been watching stuff and they've been learning about it and all those things.
So if your friends and you want to go out, say you want to go somewhere. I remember in my days we could prepare and get up and go to that National Theatre program. What was it? Fun World? Yes, we could. Yeah, Fun World, right? Yeah, Fun World, Kid Affairs, and some of these ones. We had places, we had events and programs we could actually look forward to. So if you and your friends want to go out, where do you go?
School programs. There are not plenty things that we can go to, but apart from school programs, there's nothing.
Or hang out at the mall.
Or go and walk about at the mall.
I'm not allowed to go to the mall. So we don't go there at all.
Really interesting. Switch. If your friends and you want to go out, do you have an opportunity to go out with your friends? If you want to go out, where do you go?
We go on our school compound.
That's the only place you can go and play?
And also at a playground.
Playground. Interesting. So are you telling me that currently in Ghana there aren't programs and events that kids your age could actually look forward to?
If you go out, like me and my friends will go out, we are being supported by a director. So I can't remember, just this year we went for a competition, like the school inter-schools competition. And when they said it was based on your costume, your energy. So when they saw us with our costumes, the other schools were giving up. When they saw our energy, even when we are tired, they said they don't have costumes, they don't have energy. So it is either we are out of the competition, or they would rather go out there.
They would rather go out there.
My director was like, if they are afraid, like, let us go.
So on your own, you and your friends cannot just get up and say, oh, there's this program for kids happening here, let me attend it. There's this like there was Barney Live in Ghana, for instance, and stuff like that.
Some of my friends go out at the mall with their elder brothers and all that.
Interesting.
I can't remember, some of my friends came for my birthday party.
Didi, right? That's
Didi.
Didi. I like yeah, Didi. It's nice, eh? I like it. So I guess it's from your name, Dulcie Didi.
Yes,
okay, that's cool. So okay, I just want us to establish the premise or for the basis for our discussion. Let us say today is Saturday. For sure. You've woken up in the morning. It's boring. Or let's even assume it's a holiday. There is no school. What do you do? I mean, there have been a lot of holidays and Saturdays and weekends. What do you do on a typical weekend? Or what extraordinary thing or something exciting, memorable do you think you've done with your friends?
My friends?
Yeah.
Nothing. Basically nothing. I just stay at home and learn or watch TV. That's all.
What do you usually watch on TV? Aside the cartoons?
Cartoons.
Cartoons, what else do you watch?
I watch Foresight TV.
You watch music videos?
Yes,
okay.
Music videos.
Okay, are there any restrictions? Because I see some of those videos are sometimes a little explicit.
Yes. My mom is always with me, so if this video is not good for me, she just say I should change the channel. So that when they're done with the video, then I can
you come back.
Yeah.
So when your mom is not there, that one you steal a glance more. Don't worry, I won't tell her. She's not listening, don't worry. Switch. Is it the same experience with you? I mean, you and your friends on a holiday or on a weekend, do you ever get together to do anything memorable?
On the holidays, the holidays are like Saturdays like this. The only time that we went out was Going for summer classes.
Summer classes.
Yeah.
Interesting. Uncle Ken, are we failing our children? I mean, from what we're hearing, I can list endless programs from Realize to Recognize. All of them shows that Fanspam, Augustins, all of them will get our dancers, we'll get our rappers, we'll get everybody come down to the National Theatre, have crazy fun. We developed so many talents in those days. I mean, everybody in my home thought I was going to be a lawyer. I have friends who were with me in the debate club at Fanspam. Almost all of them are lawyers. But I also joined the cultural society. I joined the drama club and Students Drama Festival. Studrafest. I won Best Actor first year, second year, third year. I even won regional and national Best Actor from Studrafest. So at that point, I knew which direction I wanted to go. Academically, yes, we were not the very, very, very best. We were okay. But I knew my talent would do a lot for me, and that's what has brought me where I am today. I haven't regretted. My friends who are lawyers haven't regretted being lawyers too. We have mutual respect. We are all okay. Numodromo, we are not hungry. I have been made by my talent because there were opportunities. Are we failing our children?
I don't think we are failing the children. You know what the problem is.
What is the problem?
It's very simple. Technology.
Is it?
I'm telling you. When you spoke to Didi,
yeah,
what did she say?
She watches TV. And yeah.
And she also wants to learn how to
edit.
Technology.
Well, but that's because that's what her dad does.
That's what her dad does.
Yeah.
Okay, so she also wants to, she gets to see what's going on and she loves it and she wants to go that way. But I say technology because if you have a phone in your hand, like most kids do these days, they can get all the stuff they want to see on that phone. All the stuff they want to. I mean, I'm limiting myself to the media, not entertainment
generally.
In general. I'm looking at the media because if you look, you heard Didi again tell you that she doesn't know of any children's programs, locally made children's programs on television.
But that's because they're probably not there. Oh, probably. I'm using the word advisedly.
Why aren't they
probably
there?
Not there.
Why aren't they there?
But that is not technology because
you mentioned Uncle George's
Cheche Kule
and
Children's Own, Toddler's Time
in the past.
Yeah.
At that time, don't forget that we didn't have mobile phones and all those things that these days take the time of the kids.
But Uncle Ken, are we sure if those channels or those brands existed, the kids wouldn't patronize them?
Listen, I'm hesitant at this point. I don't want to say something.
Oh, let's feel free.
You know something? If we don't get the best of productions to put on our airwaves and television, the kids will switch back to their phones. Because from the phones, they get to watch a certain standard of production. And so if we're not able to match those standards or do better than those standards that they get used to, they wouldn't. It's a matter of choice. It's a matter of choice. Look, the cartoons. I just checked, did a little research before coming here as to what stations in Ghana show what sort of content.
Yeah.
And then I realized that when you check Kwesi, for instance, they have Cartoon Network. And they show all the foreign stuff, Tom and Jerry and the likes there.
Yeah.
You know, I did not see a single locally produced show for kids. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the station.
Oh, yes.
Not a single locally produced one. So, listen, the kids, that's why I'm saying that the kids prefer to watch these foreign productions. And the foreign productions are of good quality. Me, it's the quality that I'm majoring on. The foreign productions are of good quality. And if they watch that, and then you come down to a locally produced thing and it does not match up the quality of the foreign one, what do you think will happen? The people will not want, the kids will not, they know what's good for them. They know what's good for them. I checked with our own multi-TV. A multi-TV recently have started Nkrumah, which is a talent hunt for kids who love music, you know, that sort of thing. Apart from that, I don't know what else they have for kids on that channel.
It's interesting.
And I can go on and on and on with most of the TV stations, you know. Francis is here, TV3. Would you say most of your productions are for kids? In the age bracket of 5 to 12, so to speak, would you say?
But at least it's records that they have some content for kids.
Yeah,
I mean,
talented kids.
They discovered DJ Switch right
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm saying, apart from that,
there is, but
what else is there for the kids to watch? And then again, I don't know if it's because of the lack of content that the television stations show adult-oriented content at times that they should know that kids are in the house at this particular time, so that they can plan and put kids-oriented stuff there for the children. A kid comes home from school and it's an adult movie.
A telenovela.
A telenovela.
And those telenovelas, they just love kissing.
Exactly.
That's all they do.
That's all they do.
So if we have to do stuff for children, then we have to sit back and think and rethink. But I am scared that we might not be able to bring stuff that the children will be interested in.
Let me quickly wrap it up with adorable D and Switch here so that we can delve deeper into our conversation. We've also been joined by Sadiq Abdullahi Abu, who himself is a CEO of a television channel. So, of course, he will let us know what kind of programming he's got for kids as well. Switch, let me come quickly to you. I mean, what kind of videos do you watch when you either go on the internet or you're at home? What kind of, is it movies? Is it music videos? What do you watch? What do you expose yourself to?
I watch cartoons.
You watch a lot of tunes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also watch, they have some people that produce something like story time for kids.
Okay.
That are meant in the cartoons, comedy. Yeah, and pranks.
Okay, those ones. How about music? What kind of music do you listen to? Or is it because you're a DJ you need... okay, that makes sense, because you're a DJ. Who's your favorite musician?
I like all kinds of musicians.
I mean, who's your favorite musician?
All musicians.
All musicians. Locally, come on, everybody. Even
locally, okay.
Yeah, locally. Who's your favorite musician locally?
Every musician is my favorite musician.
The lady wants to play it safe.
George.
Yes, Uncle Ken.
These kids sitting with us in this studio are privileged.
Yes.
Because I can bet my last dime that they all have DSTVs and that kind of
in their homes,
right,
yeah,
so
yeah.
They are they're exposed to these
to some of these tunes and stuff,
what they are talking about.
Makes sense.
But can you imagine the ordinary kid in
No, we'll come to that. That is why I want to pick up as much as we can from them.
Yeah.
Then once we let them go, we would delve deeper into our chat. Didi, what kind of music do you listen to?
Everything.
Everything.
Hip-hop.
Who's your favorite musician locally?
Locally, I'll go for Kiddy.
You like Kiddy?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. And who's your favorite celebrity in general, locally?
Celebrity.
Kiddy is also a celebrity, though.
Yeah,
so.
But foreign, I'll go for Camila Cabello.
Camila Cabello.
Yes,
okay, that's cool.
Havana, oh nana.
Exactly.
Half of my life.
Don, what are you doing?
That's my daughter's favorite too.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. That's cool. That's cool. And what kind of videos do you watch?
Music on
Yeah, whatever visual. What do you expose yourself to?
Cartoons.
You like tunes. Okay. And where do you access your cartoons? On the internet or on TV?
Both.
Both.
Yes, please.
But weighing them, which one is a lot more frequent?
Internet.
The internet.
Yes.
All right.
I told you.
Yes, ladies, thank you very much for coming. Just don't go away yet. We'll continue with our conversation. And do your parents have a say in what you watch, Didi?
Yes.
You mentioned earlier that sometimes your mom watches with you. Is she strict on what you watch?
Yes.
Very. But is she there all the time?
Well, no.
No. Okay. How about you, Switch? Are your parents strict on what you watch?
Whenever I'm going to use the internet, my mommy always asks me what I'm going to use the internet for. And I'll rather tell him I'm going to watch cartoon.
You mean her? Yeah.
Yeah. Watch comedies or pranks. So before I choose any comedy or pranks or cartoons, she will firstly take the laptop, go through all the
ones that are available.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if there's, I would say, contaminated cartoon, comedy or prank, she will write it on a paper and take it for me that when I see it, I should skip
it. Okay. But is she there all the time to do that?
Sometimes when I'm with my uncle, my uncle always tells me that, like, the older brother did not allow him to watch that contaminated video, so he's also not going to
allow you. Okay, all right, that's cool.
But has your dad any interest in what you do?
Yeah, my dad.
But I never hear you mention your dad.
Oh, but Uncle, you know the funny thing?
My dad is a busy man.
He's a busy man. Yeah, because every time people ask me about my background, I hardly mention my dad. My dad has never seen a single play of mine before, but my mom was there from the beginning. I mean,
but you pay the school fees and everything.
I've been listening to Switch or reading about Switch for a while, and I've never heard Switch mention head.
Yeah.
That's why I posed the question. You're very wicked to the men.
So our WhatsApp line is 0244340437. Parents, if you're out there and you're listening to us, do let us know what your kids watch and what role you play in deciding what they watch. At some point, we'll open the phone line so we can hear from you as well. Yes, Don, you wanted to make a submission.
Yeah, I wanted to also say that, and before I say that, I mean, we haven't mentioned, but DJ Sweet 2 days ago was honored by TV3. Yes. Because she has been a very good ambassador of the station for the country. Yeah. So she was put on the first wall of fame personality. So her picture and everything has been embossed on the wall.
Lovely.
Congratulations, Switch.
Because she has really done well for herself, for the country, and for the station. So that has to be said. But I think that one of the things that preventing local production, and George, you will know, has to be funding. Has to be funding. Previously, I mean, most of the things that we mentioned, like typically Techekule was heavily sponsored. If you look at by the fireside, it was money from the 31st December Women's Movement that ensured that the production, will be done together with GBC and Damo. So somebody has to pay for it. Unfortunately, we're in an era where a lot is competing for the same, money. For example, I know how much goes into producing talented kids every year. Yeah. It's an annual program, but what goes into it? It's a lot of money. Huge. So I don't know. That's why corporate Ghana would have to look at some of these things. And I mean, I know there's a children's program on GH1, for example, Bambina Show. Or so.
The Bambini Show.
Yeah, it's a good show. It goes to places, school children coming. I've even seen her before. They went to her school. And all that. And if we don't, find a way, we'll have a problem. As Uncle Ken said, they would always find a way to go back to the internet and watch content.
So what you're saying is that there is money for adult content, there is funding for telenovelas and stuff, but there is none for kids content.
Well, telenovela is not local production.
But there are local soaps, there are local shows that are on our TV stations.
You see that it's even
George, give me one. Maybe Sadia being produced now as we speak.
Yeah, it went on break.
It went on what break?
It's on break. It's in production. I mean, because you need to have a stock so that when you start, it's in production for the next season.
And we are not having funding problems? Because I listened to a producer of Sadia. on your own network, and he complained about funding for the production, and said that is the reason why Sadia is no more on our screens.
No. That's not.
I heard him loud and clear.
The funding has been
for every content that you put on, there will be the issue of where to get the money to.
Yeah.
The fact is that if it is an advertiser who will put money in, what am I getting? In return for how much I'll put into it. So it's a general issue for all local productions. So it's not just about children's program. If you look, there are only a few locally produced drama. A very few. Most of
So wait, what are TV stations showing then?
Cheap content.
Stolen content sometimes.
And stolen
most of
ones.
the
Thank
smaller
you.
stations, they pirate content.
Yes.
You see movie that was released just a week ago.
And it's been pirated.
Wakanda was being shown just after it was premiered at Adema. I mean, people are taking advantage of that to be very bad citizens, taking people's content without recourse to.
Irresponsible.
Sadiq, take the microphone. Let's hear you. Yeah.
Some of the problems with the proliferation of TV channels and the fact that it's not much regulated. Last week I made the argument that when we were discussing the DTT,
the DTT,
there was a talk about a fund. I said that we needed to seek clarification regarding the fund. I knew, for instance, that children's content was a problem, funding was a problem. I know a number of people that find it difficult producing even if they wanted to. So that's why I made a point that the fund, for instance, can be prioritized towards producing children's content and female empowerment content. Because it's a problem. The whole space has been commercialized so much so that children's content is suffering. There's a lot of pressure on managers of the stations to,
meet the numbers,
targets, meet the numbers, and all of that, and competition. One channel is showing telenovela in the afternoon, and it's probably number one.
And the products that have the money cannot put that money into children's content.
They can't. It's just few of
them. Hello, you don't.
But you see, my worry is this.
You don't see the point.
No, I get you, but my worry is this. Aren't there products for children?
Oh, okay. But those products for children, like Coca-Cola, for instance.
Coca-Cola is not even a product for children.
Coca-Cola is there are.
Let's look at. I'm looking at the Cerelac. I'm looking at the Blue Band margarines. I'm looking at
there are.
Yeah.
Often the marketing budgets for children's brands are quite less compared to the mainstream brands, right? And so they have limited things to do, So beyond the BTLs that they do, there's little for them to do for ATL. And how it is very expensive to put together children's entertainment projects. You've been involved in Bunny. If you really want to get the right and get Disney to actually give you the right and not the other ones, because I've seen other people do bunnies. I'm like, no, this is not the Charterhouse one, because Charterhouse, I'm sure, got the right from Disney and co. And
when you get it, you actually the costume is shipped.
Thank you.
Everything is shipped. It's not. Everything is shipped, and it's pretty expensive.
Yes, it's expensive
so it is not something that you've looked for somebody who has body maybe like
to just make it
like some before saying or something that you put him in the costume.
So it's really expensive to do. So I know a lady that's producing children's content, Treasure Kids.
Or maybe no take that costume.
She's been producing her children's content, and it's very, very difficult to actually even be able to produce. That's why I'm saying that look, the state at every point, it's a state's responsibility, for instance, to prioritize creating safety spaces for young people, either on TV, physical, experiential, or anything like that. So if that's why I made the point that if really they are thinking about a content policy, it's not to give to us who are already to commercial spaces. We are secondary. I would rather argue more for them actually giving the money for people producing safe content for children and female empowerment. That's it. That's how it should work.
Francis, can I ask you?
Let me just make a small point before. When we used to watch Oshin, I'm sure you know who paid for it. At the time, they always mentioned that it was the Nippon Hosokokai, which is a Japanese, So somebody has to. I mean, and I'm sure they had a reason why they did that.
They wanted to introduce
Japanese culture to us. So
if
we really want to have the children, I completely agree with what Sadiq
was saying. What I wanted to ask is, what in this present day and age, what is children's content? Because me these days, I see the kids as not being kids anymore, because they even are exposed to things that adults do not know. So in trying to craft content for so-called children, I think it's a very difficult task, because now the kids having access to the internet do not see themselves as children, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
they're exposed to so much that if you go and produce something that they find, oh, but this one, why should I, you know, they're exposed to things on the internet that we might think those things are not suitable for them.
Uncle, there are two things. One is that this parental responsibility. I mean, parents are responsible to make sure that their children watch channels that will not be, you know, bad for them. As she puts, contaminated content.
Yeah.
You know,
and for DSTV, at least they have.
At least DSTV. Okay, because you know about 10 channels which are meant
for
directly
kids.
for children.
Yeah.
So they don't
and
cross
you can block all the
parental
others.
guidance.
Yes,
to block
parental
others.
guidance.
There's an interesting question here that DJ Switch has just drawn my attention to. It says, I think it's from Kenneth Legon. It says, "Hi team, please one question. How many playgrounds, parks do we have? They are all being built on apartments and stores."
Well, let's say we have
If we broaden the discussion,
Mhm.
then we can delve.
Let me
into
find
that.
out from that. Have you kids visited any playground in Accra, anywhere? Do you ever have that opportunity to go somewhere? Did he? None. Switch?
I think
Switch, have you?
The playground I went was a show.
A show, not really like somewhere that you're going to have fun.
But I think on the contrary, there are more playing grounds now than
Playgrounds.
there were in my time.
In your time.
In my time.
Well, I've
For
seen a few
example,
around.
where I
Yeah.
live, there's a Lakeside estate where they have a playground. The ANC Mall, they have a playground. The Accra Mall, the Marina Mall.
There's one near Tenders
so
Park, and that is
mostly,
Legon
as the
Road.
person said, they are built on apartments.
But
that is for privileged kids.
Because when I was young,
Privileged
what we had
kids.
was the Kekere Park.
Thank you very much.
Hard where you go and play football.
Because I grew up playing at the place they now call Sodom and Gomorrah. Because it was a playing, Sodom and Gomorrah. But okay,
Swag
yeah,
Park and
Kotobabi Park.
But
Today they call it Swag
what's
Park.
the Ifwa Sutherland Park do?
Oh, what are you talking about? Children's Park in those days.
That's
yeah.
all. It's a big.
Oh, you don't know? I was born in
Yeah,
Abusokai. I grew up in Palladium and Kotobabi. Yeah, so Charlie, no easy. Lafialo.
So the point I was making is that there is the need for parents to be responsible to make sure that their children. But then there's also some channels that their content is made for children. I mean, just to answer what Uncle Kenny said, for like family TV, for example.
Okay.
Their content is soft enough for
soft,
children to watch. There's one particular channel also on the what do you call it? I've forgotten the name, but
DSTV?
no, not on DSTV, on this
On these some digital channels.
That, for example,
They have the treasure kits.
yes, that if my channel DSTV is off, that only place that I'm sure that if my children are watching, they would not have, you are sure, because if those are not around, I try to hold the remote so that but you will always not be around. So there are some channels, there's some content that are. Children are responsible enough for children to watch, and I think that it is the responsibility of parents to make sure that their children are not exposed too much to content that is not meant for them. I think that is
And the program schedulers, also have
they need to know what time children are home.
You schedule programs at weird times.
Let me find out. Switch. If you were playing a show for kids your age and below, what kind of music would you play for them?
I'll play our normal local songs.
From the Kiddies and Kwame Eugene, Samini and Kwabna.
No!
Fichi. Why no?
Did you see how she vehemently said no?
Kwabna.
It's
If
not
I was
for
supposed to play Kwabna, play Be a Quine Mammy. I don't play that. Like, apart from that song, that's the one.
That's all. So why? What would go into your choice of music? Is it because of the age and the content? So you would not play. You'd play Gringo by Shatawale.
Yeah.
You play Gringo. Yeah. Have you really listened to Gringo?
Yeah.
You're very sure, and Gringo is okay for your age and below.
because gringo itself means like a stranger,
Mm.
a foreign stranger. So
Okay, so clearly you haven't really gone into the song itself to listen to that, because that's where I wanted us to go to, because I'm even asking myself that this show that we're doing right now, if we wanted to play songs for kids, what kind of music would we play? Again, Sadiq, you have a music channel. Let us assume you say, today I want to dedicate my channel to kids. What kind of music videos would you play for them?
You had a show. You know, that's why. Okay, so one of the things we do is that we specify our core target. Of course, it's
The children are not.
No, not part of your target.
They're not. Our core target is
don't
70.
Okay, so
they're not part of it.
So let's say your network would like to dedicate a whole day to kids. Would you be able to find enough content local?
Yes, you will.
Are you
will.
sure?
Yeah.
Music wise, you're organizing party for your kids. How old is your oldest?
11.
And the youngest?
7.
7. You're organizing a party for them. What kind of music would you expect the DJ to be playing?
The kind of music DJ Switch will play.
Gringo.
wish me well, I wish you well.
Eba, eba.
So DJ Switch. If I was having a party,
Yes, as an adult.
Yeah, as an adult, for my contemporaries, and I invited you to come play music for us.
Yeah.
Would you be able to satisfy us?
Yeah.
How?
I got a wish well when you know.
Tea.
Interesting. You know, but you said the kind of music she mentioned, and she did mention Gringo, which is dangerous.
Yes, I know. You kept going on and on and on and on about it.
Because it is, you know, and that is the point that I wanted to make. Because, you see,
She
because...
hasn't listened to the lyrics.
But you can't blame her.
Exactly. But George, that's why there's always radio edits for every music that is every music worth its salt.
Every
artist
responsible label.
Yes. You know, because I look at some music, Freaky Friday, for example, you look at the lyrics and it's very bad. But when you listen to it on some radio stations, I listen to Capital Radio a lot.
Yeah.
You would not have the kind that
Which
you
is
would have
Capital
in
in Kumasi.
in some other country.
It's online.
It's online. You know, because it's you know, it's.
But I want to find out, why did you choose Kumasi and go get?
Because it's a capital. You know, so George, I think that's also a conversation that has to be had.
Yeah.
That our musicians need to know that there's some responsibility on their part. That if you're going to give a station music to play, you need to make sure that it's clean.
Exactly.
I mean, if somebody wants to listen to the one that is not meant for young people to listen to, they can always get it.
Exactly.
And they will play that. Explicit music, they would always get it and play.
Let me find out from Didi,
possible.
for instance. Sorry. Didi, you said you like Kitty. Which of the songs do you like the most?
Well, I like Thunder.
Thunder. Have you really listened to Thunder?
No.
You haven't really listened to Thunder?
I've not really listened to the lyrics, but then I like the beat of the
Exactly.
song.
Okay.
George,
okay.
you can pose that question to every single song.
Yes.
It is. Yeah. True.
That's
it
the
is
danger.
very true.
Yeah.
But that is the danger, because you see, music influences a lot.
Absolutely.
And its influence is very subtle. You may not realize it, but it might shape you up in a certain direction.
I am
and
very
what
happy.
music can get you to do. That is why I am afraid.
But I'm very happy
Yeah.
that these kids
Yeah.
love the beats more than the lyrics.
But you see, Uncle Ken, that is where the danger also is.
That is what I am happy about.
But you see-
because if it was for the lyrics, then
But Uncle Ken, isn't that where the danger is? Because you see, you fall in love with the beat.
George, I have grown up now and I've listened to some of the songs that we listened to in the early 80s, 90s, and I realized that what kind of lyrics were they? I mean, we were singing it in a way that so it's not so much, we're not so much interested in the lyrics, as it were, but the lyrics. Some of Madonna's song I'm listening now. Oh, so those were the things Madonna was saying in Holiday, you know, and all that.
Yeah.
We sang it in a manner that we felt
We
it
just
was
boogied
we
to
just
it.
boogied to it.
That's it.
So it's more, in my view, more about the music, the beats, the rhythm, than so much the lyrics.
But there are some people who go for lyrics.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Serious.
Sometimes when we listen to like we the kids listen to the music. When we learn the lyrics, we don't learn it to take it serious like a song. We learn it for fun.
Exactly.
So that, like, let's say, do you know, when we go to school and we say, do you know the lyrics of, let's say, Tender But Kiddie? Yes, I know it. I learned it just yesterday, just for fun.
Yeah. But you see, again, I would say, let me give you an example from my upbringing. I started school, primary, at there's a school behind Radio Gold. It's called Bethel Academy. A long time ago, that's where I started, Latibia Koshi. Then I later on crossed over to Association International. When I was in Bethel Academy, yes, we were singing the songs our own way. Our own way. No disrespect, no offense to Bethel Academy, but when I crossed over to Association and I met, a lot of people from various countries, only many association, these expats, their kids and everything, the exposure level was way different. These people were singing the right words, and in those days they called it singing notebooks. We all had these small books. We would write out lyrics, and all those times we understood them. We were using some of these words in our regular communication. Yes. The level was different.
Okay.
In Bethel, in that other, we were, in fact, we were twisting and turning the words, just like you are saying that, is this what Madonna was singing? But in Association, the exposure level was different. We were singing the right words. We were singing the right words. In no time, we were dressing like them in the music videos. We were acting like them. We were talking like them. And that is where I keep hammering that, look, it is not and today, in Ghana here today, I am sure Switch and Didi and everyone, they are singing along, they are singing the right words. Is that not the right words that you sing? It is not the same as those days anymore. Isn't it dangerous?
Suggestive lyrics did not start today.
No, but that is the point I'm making.
I'll tell you something funny. In my day, as a kid, a youngster.
Yeah. Them days.
Yeah.
Those were the 60s.
Before independence.
I remember an episode that will stay with me for the rest of my life. I've told you before that I grew up amongst women.
Yeah, you mentioned.
My mother, my grandmother, and my auntie, three of them. And I remember one Saturday afternoon at Akropong, and one of my duties was to make sure I iron their cloth for Sunday. Presbyterian women, Sunday morning.
And it was 3-piece.
Yeah. 3-piece, the kaba and things.
And that's what.
And I was on
with the goddess.
Exactly. It was so annoying, iron goddess.
Am I ironing a song, and I was humming a song, and then I got to a point, and there was this line that I really love in the song. And the song goes like that. Meneme my dear nama menin so biara. And that's what I blurted out. And my mother looked at me and said, "Don't go see." It was time for me forever because I didn't think I was doing.
You were doing anything
wrong.
You're just
singing a song that's being played on radio.
I think I have that experience also with my mother. My mother is a Presbyterian.
Yes.
What's his name? Ambule.
Yeah.
Song back then when he sang. You couldn't sing it in the presence of my mother.
I know.
Because she would say, what are you singing? This is not a song for you to sing, that kind of thing. And so that's why I keep saying that the responsibility of parents is very key, in these things. I mean, unfortunately, we have all these things around us. We cannot close ourselves and be hermits, and all that.
Sadiq, I'm
going
to
find a way to manage
exactly
so that our children are not too exposed.
Exactly.
So this is why, for example, I think that in all that we say, there's a responsibility for TV stations, radio stations to properly schedule things well. But there's a need for
radio.
The law.
Is there any radio station in Ghana today that has content for kids on radio? I grew up listening to Speak Easy. And there was another one about English. There was another one, something for English. Everyday English.
Speak Easy is what.
And there was also that spelling bee and all those things.
Speak Easy is what became Things We Do for Love.
Yes.
Eventually.
You understand? But none today. Name one radio station that's got content for kids. Name one. Just one.
3FM.
You see the reason why people from that era speak good English because of programs like Let's Speak English.
Yeah.
And in those days, everyday English. In those days, the rediffusion boxes were in the classrooms. So when it got to Let's Speak English, the children...
External service.
External service, yeah.
Yes, you're right, Francis. Hey, I didn't know you were also, okay. And all classes will stop and listen to Let's Speak English for about 10 minutes.
It was very important. But today, it doesn't let us wrap up with adorable Didi and DJ Switch. My friend,
we can sing
exactly. My good friend Lauren says I like using the word adorable too much, so I should stop. All right, so Didi, let me start with you. If you were given the opportunity to choose content for Ghanaian television, what kind of content would you ask for?
Well, I would ask for more of like the cartoons that for kids. Like for example, we have CBBS, which is
CBBS,
strictly for kids.
Yeah.
So we should like make more of that ones for kids. For example, Nickelodeon is not really for kids because most of the languages that they use are not for kids. So we need to focus more on that one more.
Okay. Switch. What kind of content would you ask for?
You said content.
Yeah.
You did not say content. So, like, I'll ask for cartoons. Some of the cartoons are for adults. So
some of the cartoons are for adults. That's very important. Yeah.
So I'll ask for
Boondocks is not for kids. Yeah.
So I'll ask for the kids cartoons and also kids comedy.
Yeah.
And also like funny pranks.
Let me find out quickly. You said you like to watch Foresight.
Yes.
Do you sometimes get influenced by the clothes and stuff they wear in the videos? Do you sometimes like to dress like that, or some of those ones?
No.
How about your friends? Do they sometimes get influenced by some of your friends get influenced by some of these videos?
Yeah.
Switch. Do your friends sometimes get influenced by some of the things they see in music videos?
Now, like the girls in our class, we are shy of even like exposing your tab.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's part of the reason why whenever we are dancing culture and like we are wearing only skirts and our teacher tells us to come and dance like that, we say that no sir, at least you can't dance like that. Then the teacher will tell us that okay, then go to another talented program and go and rehearse for that one. As for you today, you're not going to rehearse because you don't have
the right outfit.
Yes.
Ladies, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us live on Showbiz A to Z. Thank you for being here on Joy 99.7 FM. And Switch, congratulations. We wish you the very best. And hey, I'm going to keep my eyes on you, and I know you're going to do great. And Didi, I'll bring my works for you to edit for me sometime soon, yeah? Thanks for passing through. Those were the ladies, Didi and DJ Switch. We're going to be joined by CEO of Slip Entertainment Music, Chairman of the Creative Arts Council, Mark Okrokumante Esquire. And Didi's mom is also going to be here to speak from the perspective of parents. Right. This is Joy 99.7. That's Showbiz A to Z.
station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music. Joy 99.7 FM.
Many of us stand the chance of becoming victims of globalization, not the shakers and the movers.
That a great man was asked, how do you bring up children? And he said, the first is by example, the second by example, and the third by example.
What are the top 10 things?
Albert, I should confess to you, it's a very difficult subject you're handling.
If you ever found Kelly anywhere, sitting as two, the three legs of those two are faith, truthfulness, and enjoyment. Please don't pull any of these legs out. If you do, you will fall.
10 years of reviewing the past, situating the present, and predicting the future. Springboard, your virtual university, matriculates at 7 p.m. and graduates at 8 p.m. every Sunday on Joy 99.7 FM.
Springboard is a very significant intervention in our national life. The radio program, the virtual university, and the roadshow have become important factors in the development of our human capital.
Springboard is brought to you by Legacy and Legacy and Joy FM, and proudly sponsored by EcoBank, MTN, and Central University with support from the graphic business.
Hi, this is Sharon Lecter, co-author of Rich Dad Poor Dad and the Rich Dad series. Remember to keep listening to Springboard, your virtual university with Albert Okran. It's going to help you create financial freedom for yourself and your families.
Springboard, your personal value will shoot up.
Here's where we turn around. Here's where we turn around.
Oh, na na na. Rockstar. It's emoji, baby. Feeling good, feel alright. Got me shake body, oh yeah. No matter what we day out, feel the magic in the air. Feeling good, feel alright. Got me shake body, oh yeah. No matter what we day out, feel the magic in the air. Now come dance to the beat, bend down, shoulder, bend down, dance to the beat, bend down, oh na na na, yeah. Now come dance to the beat, bend down, shoulder, bend down, now come dance to the beat, bend down, oh na na na, yeah. Everybody show me my joke, the way you dance me I like that. Everybody show me my joke, the way you know me penisa. Everybody show me my joke, bend down, the way you dance me I like that. Bend down, everybody show me my joke, bend down, the way you know me penisa.
Music from Ms. V featuring Kwame Eugene, Bend Down. You're locked on Joy at 9.7 FM. This is Showbiz A to Z. And we've been joined by Mrs. Tip. Mrs. Tip is Didi's mom. They come from a home of swag, you know. We've also been joined by Mark Okrokumante. Conversation goes on. Uncle Ken, Sadiq, and Francis Duku are still with us in the studio. Let me do a few messages that have popped up on our console quickly. This one says, George, private stations are just too many. Every station is showing telenovela in key. Not just a telenovela, but in key. And then there needs to be regulation with regards to content. Local stuff like TV Theatre Showcase are no longer on air. That's from Ralph. Good day, enjoying your discussion. Our children are not kids. Please stop referring to them as such. Exactly. They are human beings, please. Well done, Erica. You made Ghana proud. From Jennifer. This kids and children's debate. But Jennifer, I do get you. You're absolutely right. Forgive us. Good afternoon, Joy. Thank you for this program. Because very bad that we don't have anything good on our TV station. Because it's very bad that we do not have anything good on our TV station for kids. Nobody cares. It is very bad. My greetings to Uncle Ken. My name is Abusa Jackson Gilanyo in Dantoman Last Stop. Hope I got the name right. GQ, Funny Face has a plethora of songs for kids. You have to check them out. Oh, yes. Aponche Pume. We know them. We know them.
George, I have news for you.
Tell me.
Bad news.
Oh my goodness.
Newcastle is leading 2-0.
Oh, you lie.
I'm telling you.
Oh.
It can't happen.
But Uncle Ken is happy.
No, wait. Wait. Uncle Ken, I mean, if that Manchester United is losing, It's not bad news anymore.
Did you hear the joke about the kid that said he wouldn't want his parents to take him because they beat him at home?
Yeah.
And then
he went to court.
And then he was asked who would he want to be with because they won't beat him. He said Manchester United.
They don't beat anybody.
I saw that.
No. But you see, you should look at the history of Mourinho. When players want him kicked out, that is what they do.
That's what
it happened to Chelsea. I mean, it was just about a year or two ago. It happened to Chelsea just about 2 years ago, and they lost almost every game until he was kicked out.
But this match is not
as soon as they were kicked
minutes.
out. Yeah. No, but Uncle Ken, you should see what's happening. It's deliberate. The kids want, the players want the man out. They need to. Yeah. Anyway,
He also instigated it, but anyway.
let's get on with our conversation. Mrs. Tip, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Your children says there aren't enough content for them on television and radio and around. There are no. In fact, they don't even. Have you ever taken them to any event specifically made? I mean, have you ever taken Didi to go watch any event specifically made for children?
That was how many years ago? when she was like very little. That was Bunny.
Bunny.
Yeah, that was Bunny. Apart from that, no.
You can't find any.
No, there isn't any. So she's always begging. I mean, can we go to KFC? Can we go? That's all.
Yes.
Yeah,
No,
because
they
really,
added
there's
Burger
nothing.
At the mall.
She wouldn't tell me. Let's go. I'm bored. If you're bored, go and play. No, let's go for breakfast.
Okay.
Let's go for a buffet. That's all they know now. There's nothing like.
There is no entertainment.
There's nothing like that. There's nothing happening.
It's serious.
Apart from going for parties.
How about TV, radio? Do you think there's something on offer for them?
No. Yeah, she's been watching family TV. Yeah, that's for when she was a baby. The only channel that I was I allowed her to watch was CBBS. With that, I can leave her and go wherever, and I know she's safe. Apart from CBBS, So growing up, she started talking like a British.
Because that's what she was exposed to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's never watched Cartoon Network ever in her life because of the guns and everything.
The violence.
Very violent. Very violent. So.
Mark. Mark, what do your children watch?
Do I even know? They don't live with me, so. But for me, I think that we are better now because I grew up on Osofo Dazi.
But you see, even Osofo Dazi morally.
But are you saying it was bad?
That's what I'm saying. That
morally, I think it was safe.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
you know,
more
all
common.
those. Yeah.
But you said it's better now
because now they have options.
But isn't that the danger?
That's the
But what
danger.
options do they have?
What options
Mark?
do they have?
Oh, I mean, those of us who people perceived as Dadaba, we had Tom and Jerry, the cartoons that had
Violent.
will not, we will not watch. Yeah, I mean, Tom and Jerry isn't that. It's for a male child.
Somebody chasing somebody else.
You know, and what I like about cartoons that people actually don't die. They die and they rise again.
Get up again.
And they come back and all. You know, my worry or my worries recently, you know, Adom FM has this new show called Instruma. So I had a chance to be part of the team that was selected when they came in house.
Oh, okay.
And Adina was the most sung song or performer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you hear the kid, Adina. So I asked myself, so what if the lyrics were harsh? What if the lyrics were dirty? Because some of them just learn the songs, they don't even know the meaning.
Exactly.
So yeah. I mean,
the children just told us.
They did.
That
But Switch did very well with your song.
Which song?
When
I asked what should we play for
analog digital speed. where you belong, and gave you I'm actually cool.
But do you know that people are telling you that you are more analog than digital?
But me, I won't fight it.
Of late,
me, I won't fight it.
So you've joined
because of my board.
You know,
because of my board.
No, you know you are not on social media.
Yeah,
Uncle Ken.
Yes.
Social media.
You have some for. Okay.
Uncle Ken is on the youthful social
media.
I
hear he comes to spy.
He doesn't comment.
He's on Facebook. Facebook is for old people.
And he has a reason. He has a reason why he doesn't comment. Uncle Ken tell them the reason.
I won't tell
you. You know, so we should be worried, and we should take into consideration the kind of lyrics we put into music and what we play on radio, because after work, when they get back home, if
Mark,
yes.
Sir, let me interrupt. I have a message from Sechi Saint. He says, "Must I go to Kolegona Primary, and even when the kid misses."
Don't read
that one won't say it.
That part.
That even when the kid misses that one in a song, the teacher beats them to include it. He didn't tell the kids say, make you no forget in culture.
you know, so what with my recordings, I'm very particular with lyrics, because let's assume Lord Kenya.
Yeah.
When you were young, you decided to go vulgar. You didn't know you ever become a pastor.
Exactly.
What if after 10 years, same songs were played for you as a pastor? How would you manage that situation? And so, because we do not know tomorrow, we must be careful now. When you are young, ideas come and you want to. I hear them all the time on radio saying that you kill creativity when you tell them not to use some language, and you kill creativity. But that word, that dirty word, that alone can bring you a hit. Tell me any song that you know that it became a hit because of a word. Because the French man from Togo who came to Ghana, who heard the song and liked the song, doesn't understand the words. So words don't make hits.
No, I don't believe so.
No.
Otherwise, I won't love Salif Keita like I do.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand.
You don't understand anything he's saying.
Yeah. It's the music itself. It's a language.
Yes,
and you
yes.
just need to understand the music as a language.
But let us look at the broader picture. Let us stay in focus and focus on content for kids, which it appears it is getting worse by the day. It appears it is getting worse.
What do you mean by worse? Getting worse?
It's
non-existent.
Non-existent.
Okay.
And we've heard it from a mother. It's non-existent. The last time she took her daughter out was Barney, which was what? How many years ago? The last time Chacha was brought Barney was like 4 years ago.
Master,
yes.
Let's not behave like we live in the States or UK. See, me, I was brought up at Cantonment. One of the elitist areas
community
in this country.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, do you have a recreational center at Cantonment?
No, but Mark, you see,
wait, I'm coming.
There is none. There is none.
I'm
Okay,
in
go
the
ahead.
case.
Yeah.
Like I said, when we were growing up, we didn't have access to any form of half entertainment customized to suit my age.
Yeah.
Apart from the cartoons
and the parties.
And even at the time, the cartoon, you need to go look for it yourself because it wasn't available. Not like, unlike today, the internet can give you a lot of things. At the time, there was no internet. Our culture. Do we have a culture of where in the West, kids be produced for kids? See, years ago, there was a man called Mr. Binet, an Indian who used to work for Indomie, the company, I don't know the company's name. We're friends, so he asked me to produce content for kids and come for sponsorship. I sat in my room
couldn't think of
idea
anything. I'm not making.
Yeah. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Like we're making it look.
Yeah.
I said so. It is not easy. Because Mufra nye Mufra.
Uncle Ken, even with that, you can use that I don't know, credit to grave what's it called, principle. So you can gather the insight because regardless of who they are today, they are still finding things that they watch.
Yeah.
I open a lot of YouTube content for kids, for my kids, for instance, to watch. Sometimes to get them to sleep, or sometimes when
read. You want them to sleep? Read to them. But no, let me hold you then, so that Mark can finish the point that he was building.
The same Mr. Binet when I couldn't brainstorm to get the kids content, TV3 did, and that's Talented Kids. So if you could cast your mind back, Talented Kids was sponsored by Indomie.
The first to sponsor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have the idea. Somebody had. But is that where the money is? We, the capitalists, radio managers.
I think
we
we
mentioned that point
earlier. Children on your radio
Hit
station.
FM.
Yeah.
Guy for.
But the core audience for hits is not even the kids. It's, I mean,
My
from
target
18
is actually
18 to
not
30.
in
children.
this space.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. That's not your target.
Yes, because my daughter came here and said, "Oh, Hit FM." Said, "I'm not interested in Hit FM." She wasn't. She didn't go to Hit FM because she doesn't understand what we do. And I'm fine because she's not my target. Yeah. So we now need to identify. Multi TV had kids channel for kids.
Yeah.
Correct. When they were collapsing,
New generation.
no,
For kids.
For kids.
For
That
kids.
was-
Yeah,
for
for
kids.
kids.
That was like,
Yes.
For kids.
Ask yourself, knowing the entrepreneur Kwesichum, if for kids was making that enough money,
yeah.
would you have closed it down?
It's
It means it
difficult to
wasn't.
run.
So we the same people who complain. That's why they say, "Oh, why not doing this event for us?"
The companies
put
who
money?
have the
Yes.
money, the companies who have the money cannot be associated with Mofra.
I think at this point, let me comment
that's another point.
some few
It's true.
media organizations that are
These
prioritizing.
bitters
tourist
people
content.
who have money.
We'll come there.
How can a bitters company sponsor kids?
No, but I'm coming. Uncle Ken, sorry, hold on.
Honestly,
Mark, hold on. You built a certain point earlier about growing up,
Yes.
what was non-existent.
Yeah.
But you see, around that same time, we were privileged to have programs which we mentioned earlier. All these Kid First, Fun World, Cheche Kule. There was something that we could.
By the fireside.
I'm
There was
older than
something.
you like 10 years.
Yes.
The things you are mentioning.
Late 80s, early 90s.
Because Kid First are also already producing music.
Uncle Ken, you see, Mark, when you do that.
Children's Own.
Yeah.
No, hold on.
Tina Moses.
Yeah, so it's not too far. When you do that, people will think I'm a child. Charlie.
You see why they call you Uncle Mark?
You know?
But Mark, in those days,
Okay,
were the children exposed to technology like they are now?
No.
There are a lot more options now, so it's become even
So
more
now-
imperative.
I loved Uncle George Lane.
George Lane. Yeah.
Cheche Kule.
Yes.
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 Because they did not have anything else to distract them
Yeah.
from those programs.
Uncle Ken, are you saying that if today there was a
Yeah.
program like
Yeah.
Cheche Kule, because of technology, the kids won't patronize?
I have just told you that it will depend on how it's structured.
Exactly.
Why should it be about the structure? Why should it rather not be about
And
the
insight,
channel of
George,
distribution?
George, insight. The insights today definitely
Yes.
is different from the insights
That's the
then.
point.
So today, of course, years ago when we were doing shows, the only interactivity you could activate was text message. Then initially it was phone calls, then text messages.
But
now
of
you're having
course,
to
clearly,
you're
if
having
you are going to
activate
produce
social
a
media.
Cheche Kule today, it
Yes.
will definitely
So that's
not
what
be
I
like the
can
Cheche
tell you.
Kule
That's what I can
of
tell you is
yesterday.
that it depends.
Yeah, because in those days when we were doing sets for an event, you were using wood. You have to go to
Now we're
Coco buy wood.
using-
Come in. Now we're using screens.
We're using touch
So
screens
definitely
now.
things are changing.
Yeah.
That we all agree.
George, you know how the cartoons look now. The cartoons that are shown on Cartoon Network,
Yeah,
and
I know.
other channels, they're not like the one.
They're not
all
the-
of them
they're
are
not the same.
3D.
The only one that has kept its nature and style is there are two: Scooby Doo, Tom and Jerry. They are the same.
even
Even Scooby Doo cries
Scooby-Doo,
advanced
there are
more.
different versions of
Scooby Doo.
Scooby-Doo that
True.
they have.
Yeah.
The danger with foreign cartoons lately, and that's why for me, I've been all up for creating a fund for children's content that will preserve our culture, is that if you don't take care, you are likely to see some, what's it called? Should I use the word gay?
Oh, but there was a recent clamor
gay
for,
scenes
for instance,
and
I
all
think
of that.
somebody
Certain
complained from
scenes
on DSTV.
that are all part
Yeah.
of it that makes
Yeah.
it look all right
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
Well, abroad, it's not a conversation because even in primary schools, for instance, I know in certain schools they are taught about gender neutrality. It's not here, So we also, that's why I'm saying that, yes, for a lot of us, the only way we get access to show our kids children's content is on DSTV. I know DSTV is doing a lot of work with regards to that because they are also broadcasting to Africans. But as a country, we need to prioritize that. That's why it's important that
don't have
because
a broadcast
if
law.
for instance, as part of the without aside the broadcasting law, if aside of the DTT whatever they are doing and the fund that they are creating, like I said, we need to drum it home consistently to them that that fund should be prioritized towards children's content, not the
You
kind of
mean
content
that
that
film
put
fund?
on.
yeah. They're supposed to
The
create
film fund, yeah.
independent content fund, I think.
No, and to add to what Sadiq just said, a typical example. In those days when the Americans introduced Barney, the baby doll, and they were one of the discontents that the Arab world showed towards it was its exposure. They are ladies, you needed to cover yourself, not expose yourself. You're supposed to expose yourself only to your husband and all that. So in the Arabian world, the Barbie doll was banned, and they rather introduced Amina, who wears a dress. So what you're saying about introducing content that preserves our culture, because if we're going to say, like Uncle Ken is saying, because of technology, everybody has even mentioned, even my own kids. You get home, they say, Daddy, I want your phone, I want to watch cartoons on YouTube.
Yes.
And they know how to navigate it and go for whatever it is they are watching.
They know.
And we know that there's a strong push for LGBT.
That's right.
Very, very strong push. They are putting it in the cartoons, they are putting it in the series.
Yeah.
And now even if you
gender neutrality,
even if you watch the series now, they make them the finest.
Exactly.
They make them the richest.
Yeah.
They make them the most. They make them the characters that you would love.
They're pushing it.
And it's there in the tune. So if our kids are, as Uncle Ken is saying, being exposed to technology, they are watching all these things on our phones, our laptops, our tablets, and all those things. And you think it's okay, it's all that. They are just.
Interestingly,
what are we exposing them to?
George, interestingly, let me say this. I think last week I even mentioned it. There's some brilliant cartoons coming out of here from Parables and Nafti graduates.
Yeah.
Fantastic cartoons on Uncle Ken, which captures our history, our story, identity, and all. Fantastic.
I've seen a
Parables is doing good work with that. The Nafti graduates, I told you of how I saw the Agokoli one and how educative it is.
It is.
There are a number of them. However, they are not able to go beyond that because, like Mark is saying, and Francis is saying as well, it's expensive to sustain such productions. Most importantly, for channels where there's pressure from management, board, meet your targets, ratings, and then what's the thing, commercial. It's really difficult, particularly when your competition is showing telenovela at 2 p.m. or 1 p.m.
Yeah, you are come to show cartoons.
Yes.
Let me find out from Mrs. Tip. So when you meet with your friends and you're chatting, do you worry about some of these things that there aren't enough content for your children on TV, on radio, outdoor events and stuff? What do you really talk about?
Because there's nothing on TV for them, they're always on their phones. I had to download some of the apps for my daughter.
Yeah.
Because she's always coming from my phone. Mommy, can I use your phone to take a picture?
Yeah.
Because of Snap, because of the filters.
Yeah.
So I had to download it for her, and then I told her you can only use it for to take photos, nothing else. And she doesn't know, but I've been monitoring her.
Yeah. Don't worry, she's heard you loud and clear. Confessions.
I read her messages and everything.
Yeah.
I trust her.
Yeah.
And she knows.
Yeah.
But
you need to watch. It's important.
I do.
Yeah.
That one I do.
Yeah.
And she knows a lot. Sometimes I have to ask her, hey, who sang that song? And she's like, mommy, you're old school. And she knows everything though, but she knows her limit.
She knows
she's
my daughter as well, but
she knows
so much.
It's quite scary.
And I was going to Shazam to see who
sung it.
And my son said, it's Cardi B and Maroon 5.
I got to know of Cardi B through my daughter.
And my son is 9. He said it's Cardi B and Maroon 5. Apparently, he's been watching the video on DSTV when they're supposed to.
But your children don't have targets at work. So free time, too much free time.
They have homework,
but the homework they don't pay the bills.
That's all it takes.
They don't. You pay the bills. They don't pay the bills. When I was a little boy, all these new songs you get to know them. It is time. Yeah.
And now,
George, for me, I think that it comes back to what the country would want to do with creatives.
See, because how did you know that's where I was going to go? Because you are in government. Your government is in power. In fact, you are an integral part of our entertainment space. And all this while, I've heard a lot of things. I've heard you are even building a studio. I've heard you are going to do this. You said you were going to build theaters in all regions. The deputy minister said they said not. Let's not go into that. And all this. Oh yeah, we've left him alone. Let's not even go into that. In all this, nothing for kids. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
What I'm going to talk about is not about kids, but it's a general thing that will affect kids. We're putting this document together and we'll present it to the president direct. And it's about how we need to begin to use the creative arts to this thing about. I remember the previous president kept saying that our taste for foreign product is killing us. That's why we always have pressure on our dollar. And it's true. Import and export, how you balance it, equilibrium. If you don't get it right, trouble. And so we're putting this document together to present to him, because if we do not get the taste for Ghanaian products, what's the name? One district, one factory.
Yeah.
They will suffer. Because if you produce,
if we produce a home buy,
and we don't have the taste to enjoy what we've done here, it will still not get to where it has to get to.
But Mark,
yes,
it depends on the quality. Because you see, now, for instance, people are producing Zomi. Is it Zomi?
Zomi. Yeah,
Zomi. And stuff, and the quality is good, and it's even being exported, and the Ghanaians,
we don't actually have too much issues when it comes to food, because you were introduced to your first meal.
That's right.
You're
right. You're right.
But it is what we wear and the other stuff, the music and the other cultural stuff. Those are, like, most of us have become Chinese. We love rice more than PCA and all of that, And most of us joined this rice thing. It's not because we actually love rice, but we thought that it had a sense of belonging. You are bourgeois when you eat rice, and people look down on you when you eat.
Aspirational lifestyle.
Yes. And so we need to change that perception. And we must start from things that the kids will adopt, and they will grow with it. What happened to Kwaku Anansi? It can be modernized
by the fireside.
It can be by the fireside. It can be modernized, and it become an export product. But today, if you ask me to tell you one story of Kwaku Anansi, I'm not sure I remember. I'll get to the middle and I'll stop. Uncle Ken, do you remember any?
What's that?
Kwaku
Anansi.
Story. Any? Can you finish beginning to the end?
Philip, does your daughter know any Kwaku Anansi story?
No. His mother is even laughing. What about? Mother is laughing.
No. I remember the Kwaku Anansi stories we watched on by the
fireside. Yeah.
So sometimes we do. I do tell her
some of the stories.
So it means that even the mother enjoyed Kwaku Anansi as a Latter-day Saint. Because that was about the tail end when we were about forgetting.
Yeah.
Yes.
But thankfully there are some books.
We were too hip.
Were we?
We were too hip in our time to enjoy Kwaku Anansi.
But okay.
We were reading Lance Spearman.
No. Again, it's about exposure. Where you found yourself.
Comics.
Well, those of you who grew up in the cantonments and stuff, in Kotowabi, Kwaku Anansi was prime. In Kotowabi, Kwaku Anansi was prime. We loved it. So it was a matter of where you grew up.
No, George, I grew up in Akropong.
Okay.
But I was reading comics and novels.
Yeah. It was the exposure.
That's what Gulliver's Travels and bedtime stories. Edith Blyton.
Was the vegetarian woman that got it for you?
Edith Blyton and things.
So Siskin.
You see, the thing is that
Pinocchio.
When you are mentioning, some of us also know all of them just because of the school we were in.
Correct.
I was lucky to be exposed to two different kinds of lifestyles.
One
every day. When I left Kotowabi and entered Association International Airport Residential Area, it was a different exposure. The books, the language, the people, everything was different. When you come back home, it was different. Hey, Mujebaya, Yakobobo, or something. You know that, and when it's 6 o'clock, young Kudibani Bo, Musanga. George, you're right. So it was a different thing.
Because I now looking back,
Kwaku Anansi was important. But when you go there, then the Blytons and the rest and the MMBs also became important.
Yes, looking back from what you just said about being exposed to two different schools, as when you were growing up, I now sit back and I say to myself, was what we were being exposed to at Achimota Primary correct or wrong? Because at Achimota Primary, no local language had to be spoken. It was just English. And the majority, yes, no vernacular. You will be punished for speaking vernacular.
Wow.
And the majority of teachers were whites, teaching us in their own
language.
So I sit back today and I say,
cultural imposition.
Very interesting thing. There's a reverse now.
Let Uncle Kenland.
If it had not been for the fact that I go to Akropong during holidays, and my people insisted we speak Akwapim, Ankamaira.
Important. But you see, you know, I agree totally with what you're saying. But there was one thing that brought all of us together. Whether you were in Francis Doku's Saito or Makokreku Mante's cantonment or wherever, we would all meet at Farmworld. We would all meet at Kida Fest. We would all meet at that You don't meet at Pop. Yes, the point I am making is that there were opportunities for all these children to get together.
Right.
Do we still have those opportunities to get together today? That I think.
I
is
beg
the
you,
question.
please call Funny Face.
It's missing.
The Funny Face.
Oh, he's been doing his shows.
Correct.
He's been doing his shows. But that's one man commando, children president. That's what he's declared himself. He stopped main stand-up comedy. He's focused on children.
Yeah.
How many Funny Faces do we have? In fact, let us forget it. Even speak to Funny Face to ask him about his struggles to get sponsorship for his event, how he has to toil. Is it that corporate Ghana and all these people that sell all these children's products aren't interested in sponsoring? Should it just be about the above the line, just buy spots? You know? Oh yeah, Funny Face.
Uncle Ken says, Adonko.
Yeah.
Uncle Ken says, I think his favorite sponsor is Adonko.
Philippa, you buy products for your daughter when she was growing up. I'm sure Cerelac and SMA.
But why do you think Cerelac? The adults of today eat more Cerelac than the children.
And to come that one, they know they lie.
I look at the show.
That's all of it. It's even in some of the adverts. I see the big boys.
Yeah.
This one, deliberate for you.
No, you said no, and it is pap brutal. You know, so is it that they are not interested? Is it that you people you don't spend enough? Is corporate Ghana trying to say that because we drink more Adonko has what it takes to sponsor more events? Are we saying that we are not buying enough SMA? Are we saying we are not spending enough on? Are we saying we are not buying enough baby powder or whatever,
wax products,
you know, diapers and all these things? Is it that they are not making it, or are they just putting all the monies in their pockets? Because if you are not helping us develop the kids, the children, really, what's the point?
Do you remember the
yeah, I mean, you should. He's the marketer. Again, please, sorry, just a minute. Right? You are the marketer. Why are they not supporting?
I think that the problem has to be the fact that you need to share your marketing budget in different areas. You know, do you want to do above the line, or do you want to do below the line, or is your advertising budget going to go into digital, which is also now, you know, becoming very important and relevant in the space? So it's a decision you have to make. And if you want to do above the line, what will bring you the best results? For example, do you put on children's programs? Can you even have enough?
The line.
Yeah, I mean, merge the two, through the line. You know, so it's a decision that has to be made, and it's not an easy decision. I mean, corporates Ghana is suffering also, just like everybody is suffering, and it's a tough task looking for what will bring you the right results. Advertising will not stop, but you need to make sure that you get what they call return on investment for everything. So it's not about emotions. It's not because there are children's program I need necessarily to put my
companies also want instant returns these days.
Yes, absolutely. Or if it's brand building, which one will help me build a brand?
Yeah,
you know, but not necessarily.
Mark mentioned one of the biggest companies. I don't want to. But do you remember what happened when a company sponsored a musical event.
Yes.
And
People got
to get in,
yeah, we remember the problem.
You had to buy a bottle of that particular product.
Time.
Yeah.
To get into the event.
Yeah.
And at the end of the event, 3/4 of the people who went in there were found lying on the floors.
But George, I've also thought about it. You know, there's one thing that happens often.
They were on the floor.
You know, there's one thing that happens often. So, even though the kids are their primary targets, they have what they call, Francis will be able to explain it better. They have what they call communication targets.
Yeah. Okay.
So, because the parents take the decisions in buying, literally what they do is that you rather see them advertising more even on the telenovelas, or where the parents are, so that the parents will be influenced by watching maybe the so you see a lot of kids Pampers, all these foods products and everything rather advertising on the telenovelas rather, because you have the females there, because usually it's female skewed, you know, and then so that, and you see them even having shows on the morning. There's Nestle Nutrition Line, for instance, on the SMS. Why do you think it's an SMS? Because the communication target listens to SMS, not the kids, you know. So they do the purchasing. Yes, they do advertise. Often what they would probably do with kids is more often CSR based or brand building, image enhancing based, but essentially they would spend money but on the adults.
Also, there are some brands that by their, especially those multinationals, by their corporate policy, they don't advertise to children. You know, so they would not. You see the product in the trade, but they would not, you know, advertise it to children. They wouldn't do events that are necessarily targeted at children, or, you know, just do commercial that are targeted at children. So that becomes also one of the reasons. As much as possible, I think the way to go is what Sadiq keeps referring to. Somebody has to take interest in saying that, look, we need to put money into these things. And that somebody, I believe, has to be the state. As I said with By the Fireside.
That was what I was telling you.
As I said with By the Fireside, it was the 31st December together with GBC that said that we think that this is something that the children would, you know, it will role play an Nancy story, and then the children learn from it. And that particular generation of children learned a lot from By the Fireside. And so for me, I've said, and I think I wrote about it.
And only because at that time, there were not too many other stations around.
Okay, also
that's also very important. That's also very important.
You know where they how they funded that particular series from By the Fireside?
No.
Mark, you know.
No. But you know.
Copyright funds.
Yeah.
Cosga?
The copyright.
You mean from Cosga at the time?
From Cosga at the time.
Okay.
That was the money they used to fund that. Okay. And today, even there are different sources you can actually even take it from. If, for instance, you're from the DTT thing they are trying to do with their fund, you want to take it from the TV stations, you can, as part of the regulatory fees NCA takes month on month, dedicate a certain percentage to children's programming. So this money goes into the fund so that you can sustain it. Because we've now, from what we've said, and realized that commercially, they can't stand all the other content. So that way, if you can't stand that, do you leave it to the broadcasters who who are always looking for their targets, who are capitalists, like Mark said? You have to you have to direct it. You have to find a way to prioritize it. Find the fund to put down. So every year, if even you identify the likes of Parables and the NAFTI graduates, for instance, and put in some money in creating content from their end and rolling it on TV, then that's fine. That way we can have some hope for the future.
Very interesting. Let me just do a few comments. This
George,
one says, yes, okay.
Just before you go there,
yes.
Look at the these I call them extraterrestrial stations.
ET signals.
You got so many Christian channels.
Yeah.
Yeah. In this group.
You mean church stations?
I say Christian or church. Yeah, you're right. Let me say church stations. Have you seen any of them dedicate their channels to kids?
No.
To the children.
They need to encourage the congregation to offer more.
Oil to sell.
Yeah. No. What are we
Thank
talking
you.
about? They need to make.
The
Most of us parents today are overprotective of our children. We're so scared to even let them go out to play. I remember in those days where after school we roam around and play till late. Michael from Odumase Krobo.
It's important where he comes from. Odumase Krobo.
You know, because George, I say that sometimes I pity my own children. Because look, when I was growing up, it was free range. You could go out and play, and I don't think my wife will allow my children to go out in Havana.
Where are they going?
I wouldn't allow it.
Philippa, you don't allow it?
Yes.
Ever.
Why don't you allow it?
Why are they living in long walled houses?
Yes. So
You know?
Even at home, she doesn't go beyond the gate. Like, yeah, that's it.
Where are they going?
She even forgot.
Let me open our phone line 0302 216 501 0302 216 541. We want the parents to call in. And if you're a child as well and you feel you've been neglected, let us know how you keep yourself entertained, of course, with your parents' permission, of course. This one from Danlate on my Facebook wall says, frankly speaking, we always forget them when planning. We even show content that are 18 plus, daytime, knowing very well kids will be watching or listening. Let's be careful what we feed them, because bad kids grow to be bad adults. This one from Kofi Jogad III says, good topic, clapping for you. Okay, it's a topic chosen by Joy 99.7, Niman Chagon, Philip, and of course, Delaglan and the rest of the team. Okay. Hey, this one says, why did you leave xylophone? I was never at xylophone. Jesse Ejefon, good to know you're listening. Abdul Fatah, good to know you're doing the listening. So I'm 0302 216 541. Do call and let us hear you. Mark.
Yeah.
How can we get, you're also a marketing guru, I mean, how can we get some of these brands to take more interest in kids' content, be it above or below the line kind of content? I mean, you want to sponsor a radio program, you want to deliberately initiate a radio program or a TV show, support a TV show. I mean, I'm sure if some brand should come up and declare, okay, we have this budget sitting here and want to use it to sponsor a kids TV show. You see the way Francis Doku, myself, and Sadiq will start writing content. That one day, we will get it ready right now. What are you talking about?
And so now my can't say me before. Look, in this day and age of double track, that we have some kids, some of the children at home, learning and doing things. I think this is the time some smart production group can come up with a series for the children who are at home now and occupy their attention by giving them stuff that they can learn certain things from. And I think it will catch on.
Okay, I heard that they're going to, they're planning, George, your people, they're planning
which
educators education
and then
channel.
Which people? Hold on. Hold on. And George, the question to ask is, even then, at what time would you have to show stuff for children?
Good point. We have Ben on the line. Let's quickly hear from Ben and then we'll go on. Hello, Ben.
Hi.
Good evening, Ben.
Guys and lady, I'm enjoying your program.
Thank you very much, Ben. Your thoughts, please.
Traffic towards Winneba. You know what? I have a contribution. The point is that our TV stations, they've lost it because it's full of telenovelas translated, and even the diction, how the words are pronounced, is all wrong. And you see kids sitting around tellies watching it. That's one thing. The second is that I think the cartoons has to be selected by the parents. My daughter is 16 months old, but we realized that we don't just have to tune to any channel showing anything tunes. So what we did was that we had something from a crèche, a school, what she'll be watching if she goes to crèche.
Okay.
And that one does ABC and stories and all. And that's all on pen drive. And that's all we make sure that she watches.
Okay.
Sometimes we forgo Champions League if she has to watch it. And she's learning. Just a few minutes ago, I called my wife, and then she had to go pick the phone, give it to my wife. So I speak to my wife. So she's speaking. So I think we, the parents, would have to control what they watch. But the telenovelas, I'm not saying it's wrong, but it has to be regulated. the TV stations, I'm sorry, are just controlling the airwaves and what we watch. So I think this is a very good topic, and that it has to be discussed another time. And parents would have to actually control what their kids watch.
Thank you very much, Ben. We are grateful for your thoughts. Thank you very much. I think we have DJ Odo on the line. Hello? Hello, DJ. Hello? Hello, DJ. Are you there? Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, DJ. How are you?
And how are you too?
We're great. Your thoughts and comments, please.
What I want to say is that the radio stations, the television stations, most of them even don't think about the children. If you check the over hundreds of radio stations all over the country, how many children programs do they do? You spoke about back in the days. That is why sometimes we need to take very good care of our national radio stations, such as GBC and all that. Because those days we had Spelling Bee on Radio GR, we have Children's Own, and all these things were not sponsored programs, but then GBC was broadcasting those programs. So when the GBC says we should pay TV license fee, it is in place because some of the things that the private stations will not do, GBC will do it without charging a dime. And children are people that so many people have neglected. But then if we have a national broadcaster, you don't have to neglect anybody. Everybody is roped in. So that is when children are also roped in. That is my contribution.
DJ Odo, thank you very much for your thoughts. We're grateful. Thank you. All right. Okay. We have Felix as well on the line. Hello, Felix.
Hello, George. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Felix. Your thoughts and comments quickly, please.
Let me tell you a quick story about when I was in my girlfriend's room about 10 years ago.
Wait, how old are you now?
I am 47
Okay,
now.
then girlfriend's room is okay. Go ahead.
And behind my girlfriend's room were little kids, 7, 8, and 9, thereabouts. And they made me understand or hear the lyrics of Samini's song that said,
yeah, that's Linda.
Little kids sang it and I got the lyrics. You see, somebody in your studio said that this explicit lyrics in music did not start today. But it is also true that it has become so prevalent.
Yep.
And it deserves some condemnation. And somebody also said that the parents should guide them. Yes, you can guide, but you can't guide every time. So, Utu Momonifo, then you are advising the cast also. So, our musicians and TV producers, they have to really be disciplined, even though they are looking for money. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Felix. Thank you very much. Okay, so gentlemen and lady, we'll try to bring this topic to a close so that we can quickly talk about a creative arts council. I hear they've received some cash. Yes, you're on the floor, Mark. Go ahead.
And then see, but this is very important to me.
Yeah.
Yes, and the last caller's point will help me. It's like a prelude to
what you're about to say.
I had the opportunity to visit Bundestag once and met the Minister of Development.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have Minister of Development in Ghana.
Yeah, Francis Doku will be the first one.
Oh, okay. under which party?
CPP.
We once had a Minister of Inner City Development.
No, currently we have a minister for inner city. Yeah. True.
So,
yeah.
So, one of the questions that came up was, and I went through the Goethe Institute through the former ambassador of Germany, Thomas Wiemer, nice person. So, we asked, why Ministry of Development? Because in Africa, I'm not sure we have Ministry of Development. And then they explained. I said, so why creative arts under Ministry of Development?
Mm-hmm.
And then they said that creative people are the people who mold the society. And so in your development plan, you must punch them in so that you make input in the things they do, or else they'll spoil your country for you.
Point. And I have also heard this, that if you look critically at the upbringing of children, when they are adults, look at their performance, their status, their everything they do in society, those that have a creative arts background or exposure always turn out to be the very best in whatever endeavor they find themselves in. If they end up in the law fraternity, they are the best when they are in the. If they turn out to be doctors, they are the best. The doctor-patient relationships are always the best. If they turn out to be pastors, military men, whatever, wherever they, anyone with a creative arts background, they always turn out to be the best at almost everything they do.
That's a bit stretching.
Hey, Francis, you took the words out. But you don't agree. But you don't agree.
That's a bit stretching.
You agree with me, man?
Then research.
Then it's a fact.
Okay.
Read about it.
Yes, we'll let you know. And so,
yeah,
I took some inspiration from them.
Yeah,
and it is true. It took one man called Otto Pfister.
Yeah.
And the way he put on his trousers
to get the
on the
entire
pitch
country.
with the help
entire
of
country, the
television.
entire continent.
And in the next, in the forthcoming months or years, almost every youth in this country dressed like that.
But Otto Pfister was not a youth.
No, he wasn't.
No, but it was so he was not that youthful.
Yeah.
No.
But it's amazing how it was the youth that caught on.
Well,
yes, because it was powered by
media.
It's what they saw.
Did you see any adult doing it?
No.
Showing their dirty boxes.
And again, I think the point Mark is making is very pertinent. It should that should make us more worried. It shows that youth and children are more prone to copying whatever they see than adults. Your mind is already made up. Regardless. That is why it is important we deliberately create something for them. Otherwise, in that absence, they pick up whatever they see.
The point too is that there's a very youthful audience.
Yeah.
And most of the things that you do on TV and radio is targeted at young people.
Yes.
That's right.
And so they rather pick these things more than
the adults.
And Mark.
Why don't you comprehend? I'm dead.
But you call me small boy.
But Francis mentioned something.
Yeah.
I mean, he spoke about parental responsibility too at a certain point in time. With the Pfister happened and all. I don't remember me
ever doing.
Maybe you do it outside.
No, it won't happen.
So you see, we are powerful.
But I think that the name given to that craze, it's because Otto Pfister was also dressing like that. But a lot of the kids got that from the music videos that they were also watching.
The Pfister came around the time when we were playing World Cup under 17.
That's right.
Yeah, everybody was
eyeballs, all eyes on TV, all eyes on for weeks.
Yes.
And that was the time
so even the musicians picked from him.
Yes.
So
let's even go beyond Otto Pfister. I don't know if any of you, and I don't know if Philippa, you experienced it too, in those days when you would wear a red shoe and a black shoe.
Yeah, left and right.
Because you saw an act called crisscross.
Crisscross.
You
I didn't see much of that.
That shoe was better.
Oh yeah, they
You needed to wear your jeans
the other way around because
was producing, what's the guy's name?
No, I read.
I don't remember.
Your production, the lyrics.
I have told you before. Remember, Niayi sat here. Producer Ali, Niayi sat here and accused me, and I told Niayi that. Hardly did I listen to lyrics. Mark, I've also told you this before.
You were focusing more on the
Me,
rhythm.
I am more of an instrumental person. So I don't listen to lyrics. So it was later on when it was pointed out to me what those lyrics were. I was amazed.
So we are bringing it down. We're bringing the curtain down on this particular topic. We can do half hour on the Creative Arts Council. I hear they've received a lot of cash. We're getting our share.
George.
Philippa, we'll wrap it up on this one. But if I gave you a minute to speak to parents out there, on all this content for children that virtually doesn't exist, what would you tell them?
I think parents now we should form a group. There should
be pressure group. It's important.
There should be a group. Tell it. Hey, you people.
We know.
I know you know. You've been spying.
Pepper moms.
Yeah. Weekends are busy for us, but then the least chance we get to take our kids to the parties and all. I mean, we should discuss more.
Some of these things.
We should take them out. We get tired, but then we should take them out. We should, because once I went to the Legon Botanical Garden. I did not know there was something like that. Yeah. So Didi, she's been there, and I think she liked it. So they should
take them out, expose them.
They should, and they should advertise. Because a lot of people don't know there's something like that there.
Exactly. Exactly.
And there should be libraries.
Thank you very much.
Libraries, George.
Yes,
but we also need to
tell you the books are on your phones.
We need to commend a few ones also doing it. I know Joy Prime is still having the For Kids platform, but there's also a group that is doing something amazing with young girls. The Sky Girls group. The Sky Girls campaign. It's a very I don't know which organization is behind it, but it's a very, very commendable campaign. And I think whilst talking about this, we need to commend all of them.
Don Loku, I hear you're about to leave us. About 30 minutes. Stay. Let's finish it.
No, I want to attend the Accra Goes to the Opera.
Oh, okay.
At the National Theatre.
Lumina. And okay.
There are a few events today, so one of them. But I think that this is a very good conversation to have. We need to make sure that we look at things that the young people would be exposed to, because, and as we said, there's what you call parental responsibility also. As much as possible, we should be interested in what our children watch, what they listen to, and try to find a way to shape them. We have the opportunity with the programs we mentioned. Unfortunately, all is gone. We think more about commercial than
it's important.
What would shape the young people for tomorrow. So we need to be a bit on them. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Don, thank you very much for joining us. We're grateful. This one says, let the kids play Nintendo and Sega. Why don't you add Atari? Let your kids play video games, not watch cartoons. That way they won't be exposed to adult content in some cartoons. Well, we did play a lot of computer games too growing up. Very, very important. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk Creative Arts Council. Mark is here, and that's how we'll wrap it up today. Stay on. We'll be right back.
Many of us stand the chance of becoming victims of globalization, not the shakers and the movers.
That a great man was asked, how do you bring up children? And he said, the first is by example, the second by example, and the third by example.
What are the top 10 things?
Albert, I should confess to you, it's a very difficult subject you're handling.
If you ever found Kelly anywhere, sitting as two, the three legs of those two are faith, fruitfulness, and enjoyment. Please don't pull any of these legs out. If you do, you will fall.
10 years of reviewing the past, situating the present, and predicting the future. Springboard, your virtual university, matriculates at 7 p.m. and graduates at 8 p.m. every Sunday on Joy 99.7 FM.
Springboard is a very significant intervention in our national life. The radio program, the virtual university, and the roadshow have become important factors in the development of our human capital.
Springboard is brought to you by Legacy and Legacy and Joy FM, and proudly sponsored by EcoBank, MTN, and Central University, with support from the graphic business.
Hi, this is Sharon Lecter, co-author of Rich Dad Poor Dad and the Rich Dad series. Remember to keep listening to Springboard, your virtual university with Albert Okran. It's going to help you create financial freedom for yourself and your families.
Springboard, your personal value will shoot up.
Here's where we turn around. Here's where we turn around.
Zagadat. It's your boy Easy. Zagadat. been following this lady, I've been telling her that you like her. I've been following this lady, I've been telling her that you love her.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Say the thing you define with me, you will get sexy, mama. Wanna make you my diamond queen, my one and only Rihanna. Wanna make you famous, still talk about us, Lady Gaga. But she say no, 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 no. She don't want my good love. Now she see me on TV, she say she changed her mind. Now she say, oh no, no, the thing you been to do, I like, oh. Ginger me boy, don't stop, oh. If to say I mean, oh. Now she say, oh no, no, the thing you been to do, I like, oh. Ginger me boy, don't stop, oh. If to say I mean, oh. Zaga, I for ginger, you make we banku like. Ginger, you make we banku like. Ginger, you say I mean, oh.
36 after 5. We're just trying. Thirty-five, 36 after 5. We're just wrapping up on the show. We're just about to enter into our last topic, which is some funding coming the way of the Creative Arts Council. And I hear they're about to build a big studio for all our musicians. But before we get into that, let me quickly tell you about the third edition of the Joy Prime Made in Ghana Fair, which is happening live from Thursday 1st of November to Sunday 4th November 2018 at the Junction Mall in Nungwa in Accra, at the Nungwa barrier specifically, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. each day. If you want to be part of it, let me quickly give you that information. You could just call 0540123805 or 05021485535 or 02740206999. Joy Prime Made in Ghana Fair 2018. That is where you would love to be. And of course, Cowbell is taking you up in the sky, way up high. Are you ready to fly? Are you ready to touch the sky? Nash Shoko was one of the first to fly, and I hear Andy Dusty also went to fly, and he nearly fell down. Yeah, Nash Shoko flew.
Indisposed.
She flew and had flu.
Yeah.
You should have told me.
Nash Shoko went to fly, but you could fly too. Are you ready to touch the sky? Your leading powdered milk Cowbell is about to make that possible. Yep. Cowbell will be in the sky with a glowing hot air balloon in a community next to you. The amazing part is that you could be the one flying in that hot air balloon, and it's absolutely free. That's Cowbell in the sky. If you want to know more about flying this balloon, stay tuned to your favorite radio station, Joy 99.7, and also get onto the Cowbell Facebook, Instagram, Twitter pages at Cowbell Ghana. Cowbell, that's Amel. Mark.
Yes, sir.
Nasiganoe. Oh, we hear the Creative Arts Council has come into some fortune. Yeah, you've come into some big money which you're going to use to build a studio and other things.
Is that
that's what I've heard.
What you heard?
That's what I heard.
Okay.
Yes.
Ministry of Tourism,
Yeah.
Arts and Culture, it is one with 3 branches.
Yeah.
And so our share of what was supposed to come to the ministry came. It came at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
Like first quarter, second quarter.
Yeah.
But because we were not that organized, we didn't have a bank account with Bank of Ghana and all of that. We need to go through all the processes.
Yeah.
So that is why we are here with just the first and second quarter. It is not even the 2.4. The 2.4 is supposed to be the target for the year. Everything being equal.
So how much do you have now?
I can't tell until somewhere next week.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And what is the plan? How is this money supposed to be used? What do you plan to use it for?
It's supposed to be for operations. And then see this studio thing that came in. It's something that I said a year ago that it was in our plan to get a studio for the creative arts, and so we want to pass the creative art bill. And so actually the core is a creative art bill. Peripheral is the studio, but it looks like the studio has taken the shine. Everybody's talking about the studio and they've left the bill.
So wait, that money is supposed to sponsor the Creative Arts Bill. Is that what you mean?
Not sponsor. That's why I said that. Operations.
But do what exactly?
People work.
So it means that includes your salary. So you're going to be on salary now?
Allowance.
Yeah. About how much?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I don't know for now. Yeah.
So when you say the Creative Arts Bill, exactly what you mean? You said the money is going to go Creative Arts Bill and then the studio.
It's like the
but the Creative Arts Bill, what is it going to do?
The Constitution of Creative Arts.
The Constitution of Creative Arts. So exactly what is the money going to do, and how is it going to make that possible? That's what we want to understand.
Okay, it's good. Good question.
Yeah.
When people hear of monies that come to people, the first impression is that, hey, what are they going to use it for? Some of the money, they won't even come to me. We need to purchase vehicles for the office. It will be purchased through procurement, government.
Yeah.
But they will take it out of the money that has been given to your allocated.
Your allocation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you will even see it.
Yeah.
You will see some, but some of them you won't see it.
Yeah.
So, some capacity building is compulsory.
Yeah.
In the space that you need to grow your people, some training and all of that. Seminars, compulsory,
and workshops.
It's in the workshops. You can't touch it. There's budget for it. Like I said, you have a board that is going to brainstorm and give you the directions to make sure the council succeeds. You must give them the allowance when they come.
When they come and sit.
Yes. So many. We know what goes into operations: electricity bill, water, the premise, where how do you call it?
The space, the rent or whatever it is, all those things.
All of that. That's why they've given us some budget to be able to survive.
International travel.
International travel. I didn't see that in it.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, I didn't see that in it. And then if you want to pass a bill, you lobby.
Okay.
I mentioned it this morning on Happy FM, and I can't give me this funny. So I said, why? Your perception about if you say you lobby means you want to go and spend money. You want to give.
Or maybe you want to give people bribe.
That
is why I asked if you meant to sponsor the bill.
No.
Because when I say sponsor, for instance, people have to sit to brainstorm, to decide what goes into, and all that. Those people need to be catered for.
Sure.
They'll drink water. They'll eat lunch. They need to be something should go into their pocket to take car back home.
Sometimes
and all that.
you even have
That
to
is
take
what I
them
mean by
outside
sponsorship.
Accra.
Out of town, you pay hotel bills and all those things. So that's what I mean by sponsor.
Okay, then you sell the
understand?
concept to them. Why this bill must be passed? When they are out of town, they will listen.
Exactly.
If they are in town, they will be picking their phones.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
So those are some of the things.
Yes, George.
Yes, sir.
This studio debate that has been on the air,
it's overshadowed everything else.
Ever since Mark mentioned the fact that some allocation is going to be made available to them to work, and I was amazed at the way everybody just came down at him, the manner in which it has been this past week, because I said to myself, what if he had just kept his mouth shut and gone on with just doing things without telling
build a studio
anyone,
and then just say we are launching a studio,
and then at the end of it, once he starts, he says yes, we this is what we are doing, because the person has been transparent enough to come out and say, after all these years that we've been clamoring for money to get this outfit going, now we are being promised an allocation. My question to Mark is, from that allocation, that because it's not the whole amount that was promised that is being given to you at a go. So from what is being allotted to you, are you going to be able to put up a studio from that?
Okay, that's why I said that we're going to start. So it means that it's a process.
It's a process.
But you see, if you don't start and you keep procrastinating, and
you can't wait.
You may never do anything.
You can't wait till you get the whole thing needed for the. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. And then my other issue is, I think that a lot of the people who are against this studio are from the digital space, because I even heard some arguments.
Become an analog digital.
I'm telling you, because I even heard arguments that said that top-rated musicians have studios in their
bedrooms. But that is true, Uncle Ken.
But there's a big bat on that.
Yes, I agree with you.
There's a big bat on it.
True.
It's actually not true.
I'll prove to you.
Yeah, but even me that I'm in the digital, I'm actually saying that it's not true.
It is. It isn't.
But you see, there's a lot of. You see, even I've been part of the engagement within the week, and I think I heard Mark well within the week where he kept on saying, "Look, before they proceed with this, there's going to be a wide engagement." And indeed, most of the people that within the week we conferred with or in radio shows with and everything are people within the space, professionals within the space that are producing top notch from the U-beats of the world to whoever.
You are very fond of always
taking the wind out of yourself,
making me get through with myself. But I like it.
I doesn't let you reach your climax.
No.
Judge,
he leaves me hanging.
Judge, climax.
But I love
I mean the end of the presentation.
But I love it when he does that. I love it when he does that because he always speaks sense.
Exactly.
And so, but my point is, I think most of the people in this country against the project are people who are not
well informed.
Not well informed. No.
Be careful with your words.
That's what I'm being. That's they do not play instruments.
Okay. So their exposure to music recording is questionable.
Because
their level of exposure.
Exactly. Because if you get a group of musicians who play instruments and want to record live, and without the studio concept that Mark is talking about, how are they going to be able to do it? Where I come from, I listen to jazz musicians and musicians who play instruments, and they are the ones who need well-equipped studios to do their recordings.
But Uncle Ken,
interestingly, we
so I can understand.
I have a question.
I can understand the people.
But I agree. Hold on. But I have a question for Uncle Ken. Yeah. What do you say to those who say, but we already have state-of-the-art studios in this country? When you go to Pickford, the Kingsley Hayford studios, they have international artists coming in to record every now and then. And there are other studios that so why do we need another one?
But that is Kingsley Hayford studio.
I have a response.
That belongs to an individual.
I have a response.
Yes, Sadiq.
So I made the point last week on all the shows, and I keep making the point that look, the National Studio or whatever it will be called, is not. It's important for at least two reasons. One, we said that it's become very necessary for us to have a music academy, a national music academy, where education, where we can gather all of these people that are involved in the space, Zamales of the world, KWAS of the world, to develop a curricula where we can educate young people coming up. Because I said that in the music space, most of the producers and most of the musicians came through mentorship. How about if we formalize it and make it very regular? Because K-Beat, for example, came through KWA.
Yeah.
Apietus came through Fredima.
Yeah.
JMG
frequency.
Same as Jam Master J also came from case frequency. There are number of people that are coming from Hammer, JQ, and Co. How about if we formalize it so that these people can learn? Because look, trust me, even though the young people today are doing music, the quality of the music is nothing to write home about if you compare it to the international standards.
Of course.
Regardless of the fact that they are doing some good and innovative music.
No.
Yes, hold on.
Even international standards too far. I always tell people to go and pick that Nanafin CD that Zap Mallet mixed. That Odo Handkerchief album. That album. It's comparable to any international recording.
And when you say this, but they're doing the music and they're making money. But there's an opportunity for you to make more. There's a reason why, for instance, some musicians that you always do talk about are getting a certain level of airplay and are getting a certain level of streams on the platforms and making more money than you. You think you're making money now? You could have made so much more, but for the reason, but also because of the reason, the fact that your song is bad. You don't know your song is bad, and most of the people that are listening do not know they are jumping to it. Yes, so they may be creating
quality music.
We recognize the fact that they are doing creative music, but most importantly, this is the point I made. Within the last few years, Ghana has become the basis for the African sound. The biggest Pan-African sound, what we are known for, is Afrobeat. The basis of Afrobeat is what? High life. It came from here. How about we having a studio where we can use that as a point, as a way to assert our positioning as the proper hub Pan-African sound, where people far and wide can come to tap into the sound, thereby increasing your music tourism. So, there are different reasons why we should have that. And most important, I keep saying that let's not sit on Facebook and Twitter, for instance, and think that what you're doing is the norm. Look, the Davidos of the world that you're copying today, you should see the pains through which they go to ensure that their sound is quality.
Right.
Davido is getting airplay on New York FMs, for instance, which will in turn activate his brand and his music and increase his streams. Meanwhile, you're sitting there and saying, because I'm able to do ABCD, so that's the point.
Yeah.
So we need to use that as a and let's use this as the opportunity to educate a lot of these young people when they come close to us. Let's not run it down and say, because you can record in your house,
in your garage,
record in your garage, that's the way to go. No, even in this digital world, you should see the processes to which somebody that you think records in his garage, like what's the guy's name? Chris Brown. Chris Brown, yes, we record in his private jet, for instance, but when he goes back, you see the finishing process. This week, ask Mark, we did a small exercise. We got a number of producers in, and we're looking at what we took apart the current works of producers and talent. You should see Timbaland, for instance. Go and see the lady that was actually mixes Timbaland song, and you see the board that she mixes her song on. And these are the people that you are actually looking at, because you see them recording one or two things shouldn't let you understand, shouldn't make you feel that that's the way to go. We need to get it right, and this is the time. The academy part of the project is important. The establishing or positioning ourselves as a music hub of the country via this National Music Studio is very, very important as well, and that's what I want a lot of young people like
Sadiq,
myself
to
get into.
You've made a good point. One thing I'm beginning to like about Sadiq, I'm beginning to like the way Sadiq is buying into a lot of the leadership change that NPP is bringing. But I like his appreciation of all the works. Sadiq, I mean, it's good work. It's good.
How many? Let me ask Mark. Let me ask Mark and Sadiq.
This is a super shade.
George, you.
This is a shade.
Yes. George, in this country, as we speak today, how many songs in the charts are actually mixed and mastered?
That's a very important question.
I know a producer that says that.
Man,
they say a boy. Say a boy, no. Say a boy. A master. Oh, banana master. That's about say a boy. A master.
Max, what timelines are we looking at for this project?
We will start after meeting stakeholders. It's important when it comes to government issues. You need them to buy in. Of course, I know that we won't have 100% because even free SHS, some people are saying it's not good. We don't need it. Some also believe that it is good. Over the week or through the week, I noticed that it is analog against digital, and the analog.
It's amazing.
The digital people think that analog is
Mark, sorry, not all of us in terms digital.
Sadiq even does not think so.
Yes. They think that actually people like you, but the engineers who do just the computer kind of work and they mix on the computer, because they think that they cannot use analog, then it means that it's not necessary.
Yes.
So we've done some research. Even your own nephew Ashif was of the school of digital, saying that these are old things, are old school, and so. But we schooled him through the week, and he's settled.
I hope you did.
Some of the top studios are still using Yamaha NS10. You know
that's right.
That's an old
school,
and they are still using it. It's because the Jamaicans are still ruling with their type of sound.
Correct.
And it is because it is well done. So we'll still keep educating people till we get their buy-in. And I believe that I benefited from Ghana Films. My first job came from Ghana Films. Yes. And so,
Mr. Kwachi and
Kwachi, yes.
Panji them.
Yes. And then the younger ones, I think they should open up. Instead of blocking it and fighting it, it is an opportunity for people to learn.
Meanwhile, Mark, not to catch you, we keep going back to the same thing that the old people have always admonished. Years ago, when Mark kept on arguing for live band. We rubbished it only for the Nigerians to take it, make more of it, and then now we are back to it.
That's how we are.
Back to it.
That's how we
are. Gentlemen, I'd love to thank you so very much for your time.
But before you go, I mean, I've been pestered. Look at my phone.
Pestered by who?
By a lot of listeners.
What is their problem?
They want to know whether you have resigned from men's school.
Oh, tell them that this is an entertainment show and we're focusing on entertainment. And that's
tonight.
worship. Tell them we're focusing on entertainment. Let's focus on entertainment.
But it's been on the entertainment platforms.
How did they bring it on an entertainment?
Because you are an entertainer.
The gold business is solid business.
But you are George Quay. You are George Quay.
Tell them
it's MTN.
Yes, we're going to worship God.
Are you coming?
We're gonna. It's on my backyard. Why not?
Oh,
Tonight,
true.
the only event I may not be able to attend this evening is the awards. RTP. I may not be able to attend RTP, but I am torn between. I want music tonight, and I'm torn between the Accra Go to the Opera and then the MTN Stands and Worship. What I can do is that I'll try and satisfy both.
George, even me, Elijah, the Go Stands and Worship.
Yeah, it's important. Yeah. Oh, definitely, we'll pass through both. So, gentlemen, thank you very much, and let me say a happy belated birthday to my one sweet nephew Henry Quay. Sorry I couldn't be there to bring you a nice birthday gift, but don't worry, we'll sort it out in the years to come. Nashoko, get well quick, and thank you for doing the listening. My name is George Quay. God willing, we'll be here again some other time. We leave you in the hands of one true son of the soil, Amanziba Natbru. I'm out.